Much as expected, Christopher has not joined the chat.
Yeah.
I hope he's having fun getting some gaming in person.
All right.
I'm totally jelly.
Hello.
Hey, Scott.
Hey.
You guys hear me? I'm not sure if I can hear you.
Yep, we can hear you.
We
Can
hear
you
ya.
hear us?
Oh, there you are. Okay.
We all decided to stop talking at once
again?
to trick you. Can you still hear us?
It's cutting in and out. Give me 1 sec. How about that?
Then we all
Now
get
we hear
really
ya.
quiet and not say anything.
There we go, I think.
Because your friends are jerks.
There we go. Okay. I don't understand why. It's like I have to have it positioned in the port just so.
Uh-oh, is your headphones wearing down?
I guess.
Oh. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said you were going to put my character in.
Oh, crap. You needed me to put your character in?
Oh,
If you
MG.
can,
I can totally put him in.
you can probably do it a lot quicker than I could.
Maybe. Probably. Let me do some things real quick. Talks amongst yourselves. Remember the last we left off, you guys were coming up with your plan for the, you had so many options because you knew about the, and I'll pop the map back real quick.
Wait. Instead of a plan, how about telling the new guy what's going on?
That's part of the plan. So here's totally the map that you guys have as you guys discuss the plan while I'm putting his character in the system. You sent me your character on Facebook, right?
Let me check.
See, this way y'all can be talking while I'm completely silent.
I see what you did there.
Totally make it work.
Okay, let's see.
Wow, that map was all zoomed in and stuff.
Somebody, definitely pipe in if I miss it.
Okay, it doesn't look like it's Facebook. Let me check if it's Skype.
It's not even ready here.
Once he figures out if he's got the character over there.
Yeah. And we gotta kind of refresh our own memories here too.
Okay, well, let me send it to you again. Oops. Oh, wait, no, it's in...
Yeah, I don't see it in Facebook with you, chat with you and me. Let me check.
Was it the big gray building that we're going to?
Possibly. I mean, if that's your plan, see how I throw that out there? So, yes, basically you're needing to get proof of the chemicals being shot out of this little building right here. Now, remember, you guys had options. You know, it could be you could catch it on video, you could break into it and get the actual data, you know. There's lots of different things you could choose to do. I mean, it's all up to you guys. And remember, you did discover that the reporter is most likely dirty.
Yes, we did.
Right.
in that she will totally do fluff pieces for the people, but she will totally take bribes to make a fluff piece go away.
Yep.
So, if I recall correctly, we had like a whole bunch of evidence of it, but no like smoking gun yet.
Correct.
Pretty
Is that
much.
kind of because
Yeah.
I knew you got a lot of research done. Maestro did, like gathered a lot of info that way. Okay, so we just need
Oh,
smoking
that's no
gun.
good. Are you sure you didn't keep it somewhere because you went through it with me?
Let me check.
There's a placeholder in the PC's list.
Right,
That
but that's
says,
empty.
oh, it's empty.
Yeah, Scott's referring about because he made his character on the online character generator.
Oh, okay. But just needs to translate it here then.
Let me check. Okay, I found the copy you sent for Sherlock. That's not the right one. That's for the
It's
other
not
game.
the right one, though.
That's for the Friday night game. Pull up your online character generator. Did you build them in that?
Online character generator.
Yeah,
Is that
the one that
is
you were
that in
using.
Roll20?
No, that was online. I'll get you the link real quick.
Okay.
That's the one that you used to build Sherlock. Did you make your other character in that as well?
I don't know.
The Genesis Emporium.
Yeah, I'm gonna Facebook you the link real quick for the Emporium. Because when you pull it up, it'll have you sign in, and it should have your characters that you've made on it in it. I do have looks like in our Facebook chat you shot me just a list. Would it be the cyborg that looks like has finesse, surgeon, and redundant systems?
I thought it was a loony, not a robot.
Okay, no, then you haven't sent me a copy of the Looney yet.
Okay.
I've only got characters from you that are cyborgs, which is looks like Sherlock.
I threw the Emporium link in the
Skype chat.
The Skype, yep.
There's Sherlock and Bob. Ooh, it looks like I don't have. Okay, give me a little bit. I'll recreate it.
Okay, use the Genesis Emporium, and then you can download and shoot it to me, and I can import it into Roll20 for you.
Okay.
But in the meantime, as we're discovering more about our buddy, I think he needs to be debriefed, as unfortunately, looks like our GMOT has to go check in with the police department to see if he can get any police backup, which we know will not come early enough.
Of course not.
And it's one of those conversations that shouldn't be said to a cop over his police issue pad. As he's going up to a mailbox and marking the "we need to talk" symbol.
Right. So what's the for this mission and stuff, and going forward, the opportunity of acquiring a combat drone.
Depends what you mean by opportunity.
Well, I mean, if it's something I can purchase or acquire through our benevolent corporation.
I mean, if you want to acquire, you're pretty sure this factory place here would have one or two that you could try to hack and steal.
They could do that too.
No side trips now. Stay focused.
It's not a side trip. They're on the way.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I mean, as soon as you guys get close to the place, you'll realize they do have drone surveillance.
Alright, so let's is Scott here and listening, or is he
Yes,
busy?
I'm still listening.
Okay, so we work for the Karis agency. We're kind of like a little A-team squad that goes and solves problems for people who have nowhere else to turn.
Dun, 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 dun.
We're a couple missions in now. We were hired by a woman who belongs to a gang called the Scorpions to go in and help the neighborhood she grew up in with a toxic dumping, corporate entity dumping toxins into their principal waterway.
Okay.
When we get there, we find the Jaguars, who's the local gang there. It's their turf. They're kind of like old schooly gangsters with a South American flair to it. You know, Jaguars and all. We end up meeting the leader of the Jaguars, and she's starting to trust us, and that's, you know, it's one of her little hideouts that we're in. We foiled an assassination attempt on, or what was meant to appear to be, you know, an assassination attempt on our part. We foiled it, and and kind of just in the heat of the moment, it became clear that we weren't guilty. So then last time we chased down some of the people making the assault and trying to kidnap some of the Jaguars. We foiled that little kidnapping attempt, and now we have been interrogating the sort of the wheelman of that group.
Okay.
Apparently there was a reporter who is allegedly trying to blow the lid off this, but as it turns out, she's totally corrupt. So that leaves us with what to do to get proof that, or to prove that this corporation is indeed dumping toxins in the river.
Well, I thought you said that we had the proof already.
We have like everything but a smoking gun.
They've got levels of proof, like the chemicals that are in this factory are only south of this factory in the river, but there's no actual proof. Like we need like proof that you can leak on the news as 100% valid proof, because the problem is hearsay proof will then lead to testing, and by the time testing would happen, the corrupt EPA folks would warn them ahead of time for them to scrub or possibly dump higher up than their factory in this river. And one thing about the Jaguars is they are kind of like that old school barrio gang where they're basically just trying to protect their turf. And the community is very retro. They don't use a lot of high-tech stuff. They're not really hooked up to the network. They actually pump water out of this waterway. This what should be a river, but unfortunately goes past this industrial factory, which has a habit of just dumping crap in the water rather than, regulating it.
Yeah, very disturbing community. All unconnected and stuff.
Okay. So who's this corporation's major competitor?
Do you ask our resident hacker hear that question?
Well, I'm asking it now.
So Maestro,
Yeah, sure. I don't.
basically they do plastics and chemicals, petroleum based usually, but they've made a bunch of new synthetic stuff. And basically, you know that their chief competitor is basically this small plastics company that makes organic, nice, beautiful, biodegrading plastics called Agen Plastics. They're basically the nice version of this company, at least if you believe the PR.
Right. And they're smaller though.
Yeah, they're basically a very tiny company. But there are dozens of companies who do what this company does. It's just they're conglomerates, and they own a company that's one of their subsidiaries that does that stuff. But if you're talking about chief competitor when it comes to stocks and options and buying things out, it would be Agen Plastics.
Okay, so does that company have the power, if they got this information, to completely bury the other company?
Probably not. I mean, they would definitely leak the information, but it would be about as effective as if you guys leaked the information. Because the problem is, once the info gets leaked out, paperwork starts rolling, and people will start making phone calls to give them a heads up. I mean, and remember, you totally don't have to go to this dump site. You could totally just stake out the neighborhood and whack any more. Because remember, there was that sniper that fired that shot that got away.
Oh yeah.
Henceforth, why Maestro wants that drone to find the sniper next time.
Yeah. Well, and yes, I took. That was one of my new skills I took, which is animal handling, which.
Drone handling.
Yep.
Nice. Just wait till you get to tier 5 with Drone Master.
Like you're good with dogs and drones. I'll teach you later.
So yeah, a drone could be very nice.
Drones are super handy in Android.
I've been fired at by snipers too many times now.
They're not just for delivering packages. And if you ever get a chance, definitely watch the playthroughs of Watch Dogs 2. They show a great example of how hackers and drones become best friends. Construction companies use construction drones, and you guys can hack one and use it as transportation. Totally thing in the game.
Transportation, that's a big ass drone.
Yep. Well, it's meant for moving up building supplies.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I'm kind of looking here, and I'm wondering if, obviously this way would be if let's just say we were the ones to try to go in and get the proof ourselves. Ostensibly, we could find maybe some records or something here, but if we want to stake out the place, the best place to do that may be just up here, across the way. I don't know. Can we? Is this?
That is also their property.
No, that's yeah.
I mean, you could totally smuggle yourself north on the river and basically float down. That's totally an option too.
Yeah, but that puts us in the water.
It does.
On the water, not in it. On it.
Now here's a.
Because we also had the schedule for when they release.
Yep, you managed to get that info.
Yeah, I forgot we had that.
How much pull do you have? Can we get a picture off of satellite?
For some reason, police drones and satellite surveillance do not go over this area.
Right, for some reason.
Yeah.
And if they do, the data stick gets bought and sold 3 times over.
Yeah, they got a bunch of people on the lam.
It's almost like it's cheaper to pay people off than do things the right way.
Now, because I know that like we have hover cars and stuff like that. What is like? I mean, it would be complete anarchy if anybody could just fly a hover car over and land on their building. Like, what kind of like? How does that work?
Probably you're assuming since it's a chemical factory, it's totally a no-fly zone. So they probably have some kind of security that would react to you doing that.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I assumed there was something. I just wasn't sure. Like, in the world of flying cars, how do they keep people from going to no-fly zones?
And since most of the hoppers, that's the flying cars, have AIs, the AIs avoid no-fly zones automatically if you have the AI engaged. But if you're going to drive all crazy Fifth Element style, you could totally try that and see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. I just was curious if that's like suddenly you get these cop choppers falling after you or anything.
Yeah,
could
probably.
You could totally do that, but you think that their armed security will respond first. I mean, just look at the weapons you walk down the streets with, and think what the corporations can legally carry on their own property.
Yeah, now that's a scary thought.
Especially when
Well,
they can just point to the edited video and say, "Look, these terrorists tried to blow up the plant. We saved the plant and millions of lives."
or look,
Except for the damage that they did, which caused the leak.
I like where you guys are going with that without me even having to prompt you.
Well,
Scuzzy Corporation. It's almost like a dystopian cyberpunk future. Oh wait,
Yep.
So-
it is.
Yeah,
So
float
how
down the
far-
river would probably be much better than trying to drive a car over.
how far does what's their property lines here? So how close can we expect to get without and
Well,
still
at the actual factory here, they own about a quarter mile north and south. That's the company housing. Because, it's great to be able to deduct your rent from your paycheck.
Yeah. So then probably like this whole thing is all their property. We can't get we couldn't get too close without being on their property.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the river,
Except for the river.
which I'm assuming is technically a public.
Technically, it is a public water.
Wetland.
I mean, they own all the way to the shoreline, but they may have some surprise for anyone trying to swim in or boat in. I mean,
Well, sure.
Well,
is that a gun barrel protruding from a tree branch there? Is it
yeah,
following me?
Just real quiet, and on a boat we'd be very exposed. And I'm not really into scuba in polluted rivers.
I mean, what's the worst that happens? You grow a third eye, Maybe
Yeah,
that's
man.
why our Gmod's not with you, because he doesn't want to get his genetics ruined by this water.
Hey, a prehensile tail might be nice.
Unfortunately, it's growing out of your forehead, but hey.
So, well, if we've got the schedule, we know when we can go. The question is just how to get in.
Yep.
I wonder. The building from which they do the dumping, is that typically in use for other things, or is that like?
The
Is that the
intel you
factory
got
proper?
doesn't provide any more information about it, because remember, it's offline. It's not
Yeah.
connected to the net. It's almost like hard investigation on the ground is now required.
So yeah, so we either drive or boat is kind of what it looks like. But driving's probably going to be difficult due to, I'm sure they have probably gate guards and stuff. I mean, the river may as well, but if we come in by night, nice and casual, floating down the river.
Yeah, unless they have somebody watching the river, and then we're totally posed.
Time to go to Merch Mart and buy a bunch of inflatable waste floaties. And just float
Unless
say-
we get in, unless we get in through other means, if we were to find an angle and kind of bluff our way in. You know, I was wondering, Jessica Montoya she's obviously on the take from them. If she were to, you know, stop by to, or a crew of her stop by to fake their investigation. Hey, yeah, we're here to investigate, you know, on channel this. We'll take a look around. Of course, we're not going to find anything.
Investigate is the wrong word. We're here to do a public relations piece.
Ooh, the
Well,
fluff piece.
They're already, like, Jessica Montoya is already allegedly working on a piece, but if we were playing along with the fact that the story's getting buried, and we were there to not find anything.
No. We're there as the second unit crew to take the background pictures to roll on how wonderful everything is.
Yeah, that's more or less what I had in mind.
Because remember,
so we
the
don't use the word
different
investigate.
angle, but
the Jaguars did tell you that she is waiting to hear back from them about more information. I mean, if you're wanting to, like, say, give her some information and follow her type of thing, you have her contact info for that. So what angle and approach are you guys going to take? I'll warn you ahead of time. They are all genius ideas, and they're all going to fail horribly.
here's
Nice.
I'm going to pull the
kind of
Band-Aid off
one
fast for you.
last thought. If we were to, like, we know that she's corrupt, but she doesn't know that we know that she's
She does not
corrupt.
know that you know that she's secretly on the take, yes.
So, if we were to say, you know, like, as in pretending we're naive to the whole thing, hey, we know where the dumping's gonna take place, you know, what we can meet there and blow the lid off the whole thing, knowing that we'd be walking to an ambush. But if we knew we were walking to an ambush, we could actually turn the tables on them.
And at that moment,
By
you
having
reveal
a
that.
second crew ready, like a second crew that, you know, we get in, but having some sort of second crew, like, with oversight on the area, or something like that. You know, a second team ready.
As you guys get busted and you say, aha, we knew that you knew that we knew that you knew. So how are you going to go about getting a second crew?
Yeah.
Well, here's like,
Well, can't we pretend to be the second crew?
it wouldn't necessarily have to be a lot, just enough to deter any violence and have them be like, all right, yep, the jig is up. I don't know. Like some kind of. I have a guy who owes me a favor. Well, a favor per session, really. He owes me lots of little favors. Who might be, you know, up for something like this.
Especially if you're going to owe him for this favor.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can ask a small favor from me each time, but maybe I could negotiate a bigger one.
Is this the talent?
Yeah, I
okay.
have talent for two different ones. One was the contact I used last time at Jinteki, Corporate Joan. This, I'm thinking of specifically of, I have a Trimoth contact.
Ooh.
With I'm not gonna, I can't speak this. Okay. But anyway, I have some who might be like, we might be able to arrange that with.
The other option is we have, say, the Jaguars cause the scene somewhere away from the dumping part and kind of bail, but enough to draw some of their security forces while we slip in. That would be another potential option. The old bait and switch.
Yeah, the only thing is, if the Jaguars do start the distraction, would they still go ahead with the dumping?
Well, they're way somewhere else, you know, northern on the property or whatever from the location. I mean, I don't know why they would discontinue it if they're looking like they're trying to, you know, stage a riot or, you know, something funky.
Ooh, get a protest or something going on
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna call Diabla and ask her if she can do a start drawing up some picket signs.
We can really combine plans with this. If we try to like pretend like we're helping Jessica Montoya out, that could give us an excuse to get at least somewhere inside the facility to begin with, and then once we're in, we can give the slip to whoever's around, and then with the protest going on, we might be able to get in and out on the scene.
Sure.
Oh,
Sounds like a winner to me.
Alright, so we need to... Well, the first thing we need to do now is call Jessica Montoya and figure out if we can set something up.
Okay, so you got a contact info, so you're pulling her up on somebody's pad.
I can make the link. I'm not the one to talk, though.
So you're gonna use your nice and secure pad then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, I'll try doing the talking here. Anybody feel free to chime in if I say something stupid.
You know, like have his finger over the mute button like a censor. Okay, so of course, you know, the pad's just doing the do 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 do. As you know, immediately you get this kind of groggy answer of like you've got Jessica, and you know she kind of like you hear hello as she hits to talk as opposed to just the automated answering. It's audio only.
Jessica, audio only. Oh, okay, so no video.
As by the way, on the video, there's this perfectly manicured picture of her in like awesome outfit, perfect makeup, ready for news at 5. So, are you doing audio or video only back?
We'll just do audio only.
Okay, and what's the name that's coming up on the caller ID, by the way? Maestro?
Is it?
I don't know. Do you want to be known who you are, or?
Let's not, because if we're going to be, you know, kind of callers with a tip, we don't necessarily want to be identified.
Okay. So.
Call it like tip line or something like that.
The tip line's calling her?
Yeah.
You've got a call from tip line.
Okay.
I don't care, whatever you think.
Okay, so the caller ID pops up tip line, and she's just like, hello?
Jessica Montoya, Channel 77 News.
Speaking.
Hi. I was told by some friends of mine that you're doing a piece about dumping in the, what's the name of the river?
In the south easterly Estway.
Okay, that you're doing a story on that, right?
And you kind of hear this like frantic scramble for a second, and some stuff getting knocked over. Sounds like, you know, when you say that, you kind of catch her off guard, as she's definitely got some shock and surprise in her voice as she hits the talk button, because you can hear her hand fumbling for the button, and she's just like, "Who are you, and where did you get this information?"
Well, we were talking to some people down in the neighborhood, and they said that you had been asking questions and that you were interviewing people about this. Do I have that right? Are you the right person to talk to?
Do me a favor. Give me a charm, coercion, or negotiation. I'll let you pick. Because I just want to see if she'll accidentally slip anything.
Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to sound friendly at this point, so...
Yeah, this is totally just, I want to see if she flubs and slips something. Ooh, and you're using a story point.
I am. I want her to flub and slip.
Okay, I got your upgrade and the blue in there since you caught her off guard with this conversation.
Nice. Come on.
Let's see if she flummoxes.
Whoa!
As she
terrible.
As she like kind of immediately gets into this hushed tone, and you can tell she's reading tip line on the caller ID, as you can almost hear her say tip line. Question mark, question mark, question mark. What would you like for that one advantage, by the way?
Well, let's see. So she's definitely not letting anything slip. But, okay, so she's not letting anything slip, but I'd like to still come across as genuine.
Okay. So she just kind of like, seriously, who is this? Who is, and she just kind of like mockingly says tip line.
Well, I didn't, I want to make sure that, I'm talking to the right person first. I was scared to use my name. I just thought it was funny.
You're talking to the right person, but I need to be upfront with you and let you know that anything you say to me is on the record. I am a reporter, and I am beholden to share the truth in all of its forms.
Okay, I'm gonna make a gesture at Maestro, like, record this.
Sure.
As he's like, I've been recording since we started.
Oh.
And your point is?
Sure. Fair enough. I say, okay, yeah, that's fine. So you are aware that there's this dumping going on, right?
And she just kind of gets
or?
I've received reports from concerned citizens in the neighborhood south of the factory that the chemicals that are causing people to get sick are synthetic in origin and have been introduced to the water by one of these factories, but I don't know which one for sure. And she kind of like leaves that hanging like a question, like she's wanting you to say the names, not her.
Well, if you know, if I were to be able to tell you which one it is, would you be able to expose this?
Yes, if you were able to inform me of which company is doing the illegal dumping, I could definitely get this on the news as first page news on the blog as well as on the news vids.
Yeah.
Do you have any evidence?
Well, I do, but obviously, if this is as dire as it sounds, I probably shouldn't be like emailing it to you. I don't have a very, I don't know anything about cybersecurity. We'd have to, I might be able to tell you where and when to meet.
That sounds like a very you seem to be very, very sharp. You're absolutely right. It's not safe to put this across on the network. If anything, you're right. We should meet in person. But I have to know if the news is actionable.
Well, I'm sure it is. I'm
you
definitely
have
sure it
do
is.
you have proof?
Yes, I have proof.
What kind of evidence do you have so far? If you can say over the network.
What kind of, like, we had, this is, well, we had documents, photographs. What exactly did we have?
You have documents of the plant's information when they shut down their sensors, and basically everything leading up to just about dumping. You just don't have the actual proof.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
So
Okay,
you have
so-
you have all of the absence of proof that proves that they're doing it. Basically, the fact that they're turning off the water sensors at the exact moments and then turning them back on after the water's flushed
Okay.
away.
All right.
The
So
fact
here's
that the
what I'll
cameras
say.
turn away at the right moments and linger before turning back to that area.
I'll say I have enough
conversation.
information that I could tell you where to be and where to point the camera at what time. I could give you that much information. If you would, if you want to give you, tell you that so that, you can be there and blow and bring a crew or something like right then and there.
Okay, that's perfect. I definitely want to see if you can bring proof of the evidence, because I have to make sure it's actionable. Where do you have a place that we should meet, or should I find a place for you?
We want to make sure if you. Well, I've never done this before. Do we need to meet in a public place so it's safe and stuff?
I've done many exchanges like this, and usually public is good, but I'm not sure that maybe public is the best. We should probably pick somewhere quiet and unobserved.
Okay. What do you have in mind?
And she's just like, give me a second to see what I can come up with. And you hear her tapping away on her pad. You get to hear that iPhone clickety clack clack clack. The buttons are being pushed. Have you ever been to Golem Grove? It's in the Quindy district. It's not far from a certain area that I think you might be at or living at. As she's trying to be all coy about, it's not too far from the waterways where the jaguars live.
Yeah, do I know anything about Golem Grove?
That's a good question. You know some of the streets and things around it, but I don't know if you know per se.
Is it a neighborhood or a park?
Oh, you definitely know it's a very large. It's a district.
Okay, the whole thing is the district.
Yeah, it's one of the nicknames of the Quindy district. Golem Grove is the south part that's toward the coastline. It's actually on the coast.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So she's looking for a place to murder us. Cool.
Probably.
I like how you go right there.
Wow. So.
Okay, so if we're obviously, we know that she is corrupt. If we can kind of take her by surprise, we can use her leverage to get us in. I would think, at least, or get us close. If we turn the tables on her little murder plot.
I guess, yeah, we can try.
Okay, so does she give us a place where she wants to meet or something?
Yeah, she gives you a warehouse. As you see a huge info dump that's totally, Maestro looking up the district. Here's the basic rundown of the district, especially of Golem Grove. Basically, it's a huge industrial park. The reason why it's called Golem Grove is because, it's owned by the company that makes Biroids. So it's almost like there's a lot of warehouses and assembly plants and storage facilities full of, androids.
Mhm. Interesting.
And
That's
she
very
happens to
strange.
know of an old abandoned warehouse there because the beauty is with all of the old feedback and stuff from the instruments and things. There's no surveillance that can really work in this warehouse. It's all magnetically shielded for the work that used to happen there. What
Wow.
time would you like to meet? The
That's
the
juicy.
later in the day is usually the better.
Is it? Is it? Okay. Well, sure. You know what? You tell me. You want to meet like this afternoon, this evening?
How about right when things start quieting down is around the 9 p.m. time. How about we meet a little after 9? Let's make that 10. Do you think you could do 10?
Sure. Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, and should I send you a meeting invite on your pad?
No, no. I'll find the place.
As
Just give me
Maestro's already
just give me
shaking his
the
head no, I can hear.
just give me the address or whatever, and I'll be there.
What is your
No.
contact information so I can send you the address? I'll send you a ping.
No, just tell me the address.
Okay, so she basically gives you the cross streets for this warehouse. And,
Okay. And
and
so
10 o'clock
three-
tomorrow.
10 o'clock tomorrow. You'll be there.
I will definitely be there with bells on.
Is this
Okay,
morning or
cool.
evening?
Well, right now it's basically getting on towards the evening.
Right. No, so
Oh, I
she's talking
thought-
tomorrow morning,
She's
right?
talking tomorrow evening, 10 o'clock at
Oh,
night.
evening.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, well, we know where she'll be at that time. Okay, so we have her interest. We can like I can have her discreetly like borrowed from this place possibly, or we could send the Jaguars to keep an eye on that, and basically if we can get the information that she has, we might be able to get some sort of credentials to make contact with the company.
Now remember, you still haven't told the Jaguars she's crooked. They believe she's totally on the up and up and going to save their
Oh
community.
no, I did. That's why Esmeralda stormed out last time.
But
Yeah, I think
she-
we had stopped her from contacting her because of
Mhm.
that.
But
Yeah, we wanted to make sure we had that bargaining chip somewhere.
okay, so you're going to make it common knowledge amongst the Jaguars, or are you going to talk with her first?
Well, that's what I wanted to ask Maestro is that if we can get her credentials or get the information that she has, or even anything to give us a little leverage on getting closer into the company, that would be useful. Now, we can have the Jaguars go there to grab her, or I can maybe possibly have her grabbed, or we could go in ourselves and have the Jaguars just be there to bust up any surprises she brings along.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, what she's saying, so remember, I'll be disconnected, it sounds like, from what she's describing of the facility.
If you go in the building, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, what if we could just have some people keep an eye out for when she shows up and just grab her real quick.
That's fine. We could definitely do that.
Alright.
So basically you're wanting to snag her and get additional information and basically rough her up for additional info.
Or just because we can kind of blackmail her into talking us through the gate, maybe.
It sounds totally
And then
worse when you
the-
say rough her up like that.
I just think, but if she can get us through the gate, and that's when the distraction happens, we'll be inside already. It might be a lot easier to get in and out if we get in without having to climb fences.
So you're wanting to talk her into
either
getting
provide us with the information to get in, or walk us in herself.
Okay.
Because we can, blackmail her with what we know, or just, or if she knows that we know, we can, protect her from reprisals if she'll just get us in and out without a fuss. I don't know.
Okay, so what plan are you guys coming up with? Now the clock is ticking. At 10 p.m. she's going to be there to meet you at the warehouse. So
Okay.
what are you guys setting into motion?
So why don't we have? Here's a thought. I'll see if I can use my favor for her to just get picked up and brought to us when she goes to, when she shows up at the site to ostensibly whack us. I can maybe have see if my favor can grab her, and then the Jaguars can get to work on setting up that protest, and then once we talk to her and figure out if we can get some kind of cover story, or have her a cover story for going into the plant or whatever, then we can go to that phase, perhaps.
Okay, so you're going to be...
Is this just crazy talk, or am I making sense here?
No,
it's so crazy, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so which one of your contacts are you going to go for? I'm assuming the...
This time, I'm calling my Trimouth contact.
Okay, so who is your contact?
Let me look at my notes to remind myself. It's been a while. Okay, so my contact is... he's a Yakuza, and his name is Daito Mishima. He's an enforcer for the local Oyabun, which is like the local boss.
Mm-hmm.
He's my contact, so he's basically a Yakuza hit or enforcer. I helped him out with keeping himself clean during a kind of a corporate scandal where he was called in. I was able to kind of keep him clean and all that jazz. So he's my Trimouth. I get a favor with him every session if I need to.
Now, what kind of favor do you get?
Well, it just says I think a favor or I'm not sure.
Does it say a small, a regular, or a big favor?
I am not sure it distinguished. I think. Let me look at the.
Most of those things should, I think.
I'm looking. A small favor.
A small favor. So just to give you an example of what a small favor is with the mob is to provide you a high interest loan, get access to an illegal establishment, and verbally threaten someone. So when you call him up and ask him for this small favor, he's just like, my friend, ¿qué pasó? In his bad Spanish with his Japanese accent.
His bad Spanish Japanese.
And he's just like, so what can I do for you?
Daito-san, I wanted to see if there was something you could do to help me out with something. There's a local reporter that I come across doing a job down here who basically wants to set up some kind of crazy ambush me, kill me session and torture me for information, all that good stuff. It's likely to happen. I know where she's given me an idea where she wants to meet. Is there any way where you could, encourage her to come visit me at a different venue.
Ah, you're looking for a nice Uber to transport her is what you're talking about, right? Wink, wink,
Yes,
nudge, nudge.
a little bit more specialized Uber.
So I know you and I are friends that go way back, and any club you want to get into, you just drop my name and I got you in there. Or if you need somebody like spooked away from your issues, that's not a problem. But black bagging a reporter, and he kind of like looks around like, damn man, I don't believe I just said that in the open. As he just like gestures off vid to have some people leave the room real quick, and some beautiful lady goes walking around the background that he must have been entertaining. I can see about doing this, but you might owe me something in return for this. This is a reporter, and he kind of looks at you like, reporters, you either kill them or you don't fuck with them.
Okay, second thought is, okay, let's put a pin in that then. I'll see if I can find somebody to handle the legwork on that one.
I mean, if you want to talk about, negotiation of a trade, I mean, I could totally make it happen, but you'll need to sweeten the pot for me a little bit, if you know.
All right, let me get back to you on that one, Daito. Thank you. All right, so we're going to have the Jaguars do this.
Well, actually, we can sweeten the pot if we tell them to short this company.
Tell them the what?
Short the company. Bet against it in the stock market.
Oh.
Their thing is more, drugs and shit.
That businessman.
That's his preferred trade.
All right. Well, let's see if the Jaguars will grab her. We don't want her killed or anything. We just want to take her to a safer location other than her ambush spot. So, let's just, do you want to ask Diablo if she can?
Yeah, I mean, definitely handle it at an upper level.
Yeah, okay, so, Diablo was coming back at some point this morning, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we can wait for her to arrive.
Okay, so you guys kind of cooling the heels. So what is the plan now that you're thinking of kidnapping her, and where are you wanting her taken? I mean, that's...
Well, I don't know. Like, this is kind of half-baked. I wanted to, like...
Really? It's actually half-baked.
I want her to be able to talk us through the gates at this chemical plant. To lend some, to bluff our way in without having to scale fences and shoot drones. That's not exactly our specialties.
Well, I mean,
as you're totally hoping Dante is secretly infiltrating the place as we speak as a gecko.
Right. I mean, we are missing our primary shooter at the moment.
Yeah, I'm trying not to have this just turn into a shoot 'em up. I'd like to not have to shoot anybody, truth be told.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure we can find some little offshoot place to have her brought to.
Why don't we could just, I'm wondering if we could, well, let's let Diablo will know where they have a safe house. She'll be able to know, where to bring her. We really just need to get her to walk us in. Just getting her here is the hard part.
Yeah, well, it's going to be some convincing. Might take money. That's what seems to work for her.
Well, or completely threaten to bring down her reputation, because we have proof that she's. I mean, we know she's dirty. We could at least maybe convince her to keep her reputation, just as long as she can get us in and out of this place. And then she gets to up her reputation by going against the corporation and printing the piece anyway. She may choose, that over a bribe.
Right.
So yeah, I'll let Esmeralda know to come meet back up with us here.
Okay. So, screen swipe, little time has passed. There's some food dropped off at the door for you guys, but you don't know by who, because whoever it was dropped it off and left some beautiful aluminum foil covered food waiting for you that smells amazing. And disappeared before you guys made it to the door, because that's just how they roll. And a little while after that, the back door, Esmeralda comes in. She seems not happy as she kind of comes in and kind of immediately puts her feet up on the table.
Oh, all right. How's it going?
She definitely looks like she's been fuming, and it's now like, 1 o'clock in the morning. So since you asked for her to come, she came immediately.
Okay, so why the long face? You look distressed. Are you distressed?
And she just gives you this long, beautiful, angular face, resting bitch face, and silence.
All right. Okay, maybe now is not the time.
As she looks, and she kind of like just looks at the rest of you guys and gives you this gesture, like, "Tell me what I'm doing here."
Well, you know how you wanted to go off and commit murder.
And she starts this small slew of Spanish under her breath that sounds very violent.
Yeah, exactly. But that was channeled at somebody else last time, not me. So I guess let's skip to that part. This Jessica Montoya, we are trying to lure. I lured her out to presumably. Well, she thinks that we're going to meet her in this old abandoned factory, and then she's probably going to ambush us, torture us for information, and kill us when she gets the information, or she'll have some of her goons do it. Whatever. But the good news is we know where she's going to be, and she might be our ticket into this company that's dumping chemicals. I know that you were really upset earlier, and now that we've waited, we thought about it. Maybe you can kind of get some of your, maybe you can get some satisfaction by, say, maybe bringing her to a less ambushy location.
I have no problem meeting that puta and bringing her somewhere. And she like practically puts her arms up, and when she says bringing, like air quotes, but the angry type.
Well, she needs to be, undamaged.
I'll make sure she's still breathing.
Well, she's gonna have to get us through the gates at this chemical plant. So she's our ticket in. I'll kind of explain to her what my plan is.
Okay, she kind of gives you this wide-eyed look like you're crazy. You crazy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, it was either this or a boat. I'm afraid to open one.
We need a bigger boat.
I'm afraid of boats while snipers are pointing their guns at me. It's middle of the week.
I wonder why.
Such worries.
Okay, so she just looks at you like, you tell me where this puta is, and I will pick her up. You tell me where you want me to drop her off, and I will drop her off on the curb hard. And I'll even give her a glass of nice, refreshing water to drink while I drive her around town. I'll take this all driving Miss Daisy style with her, so she's all comfortable and relaxed.
Well, I tell her where ostensibly the ambush is meant to take place. You probably don't want to walk into that exactly, but maybe pick her up on her way in. But if you know where she's going to be, you know where to look. And then the other part of it, I'll tell her about, like, once we're inside, a protest would be, a distraction for us to get the rest of the info.
So you're not telling her about the distraction, or you are cluing her in on
No,
that?
I am. I'm telling
Okay.
her the
Yeah,
whole
no,
plan.
he's telling
the whole
her
plan.
to.
Okay, the whole plan.
Yeah, so you guys will get to have a nice little peaceful demonstration and draw some of the eyes towards you guys, and we can sneak in, get the rest of it, and get back out, hopefully without being shot at.
That's what we need. Is Mike Tia out there holding up a protest sign? That's just what the news would need. But here you're telling me the one reporter we trust is she crooked? I mean, how is this going to help us? I don't understand. And she just gives you this look like she doesn't get it.
What, having the reporter or the whole thing?
Mm-hmm. Your plan's going a little over her head.
Oh, okay. Well, this is how we get into the plant, get the hard, indisputable evidence, and get back out again without having to shoot anybody or be shot at ourselves. And this way, nothing gets blown up. No shootout in the factory means, no blaming on us, us firing a stray bullet or whatever. If we get in, get the info, get out, and nobody has to get hurt for it, then we have what we need to send a press release to every major newspaper and have the full hard data to do so. Everybody gets the scoop except Jessica Montoya.
And she kind of likes when you throw that little emphasis out there that this reporter's going to get screwed. So she kind of like looks at you, and she's just like trying to play it through her head, and then she kind of like just smiles, this really wicked smile that you'd hate to be on the receiving end if you were the person generating the smile. And she kind of looks and says, I think you got something here. I think you and your friend with the beautiful brain, and she of course gestures over to Maestro. You might have something here. I'll follow your lead. But if things start to go south, I can't promise this bitch is going to be breathing by tomorrow.
Well, as long as she, as long as she feels safe enough, we might be able to make this work. But I don't know. She might. She just needs to be undamaged, but get her here.
Okay, go ahead and give me a coercion, leadership, or charm.
Why charm, of course.
Oh, look at him trying to charm another one.
Well, I've been charming her since the started. I've got some in the bank with it. All right, let's see. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna steal it right back.
Ho 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 ho! Okay, I gave it right back to you. It's in the system.
All right, let's see. Okay, Diabla.
This is just to see how well she's convinced to follow your plan and not go rogue or let her people go rogue, which is the important part. Because once she tells her people that this bitch has betrayed them, she's going to have to make sure to set the stage for her people.
Okay.
Okay, and she kind of like, she claps, she puts her feet on the floor and stands up, and she walks up, and she gives you this like quick kiss on the cheek, and she's just like, we'll do this your way. We'll get the bitch, we'll drop her off where you want her, no questions asked, no questions given, she should be in more or less good shape, her pretty face won't be blemished. How about that?
Sounds good. A good place for you somewhere on your property that's not going to have people poking around in it too much would be ideal.
So she gives you this double look like you want her on the compound?
Oh, actually,
on compound.
This is like one of only 2 safe houses that we've got that are not on the compound.
Oh, okay. Well, is it okay if we bring her here? Is there any reason that would be a bad idea?
Not that I know of, as long as we're ready to relocate if we need to.
Well, yeah, we'll get the car over. We'll move the car closer while we're waiting for her to arrive. That's probably a good idea.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, we'll bring her here after your supposed meetup at 10 o'clock tomorrow. So we should be here probably about 11 o'clock in case we have to ditch any tails.
Right on.
Even the Jawa agrees. You know somebody's got a virtual Jawa assistant.
It's my phone.
Okay, so she basically, you know, she asks you to go over the plan one more time as there's a montage scene of you guys covering the plan one more time for her. So she basically makes, you know, a couple phone calls with you guys there of setting up the protest. So what time are you wanting the protest to start or not yet?
Can they be you know, kind of ready to go, but not until we say the word?
Okay, she's totally like, we'll try, but a lot of these people have jobs. Because if they miss a day of work, they go hungry.
Well, what time? What's the, like, after 11 p.m.? Like, if she's here at 11 p.m., what time does the dumping happen according to our
Did she
data?
say 10?
What's that?
Did she say 10 or 11?
10 p.m. is when you're meeting her. And your friend Diabla is saying she could probably kidnap her and have her here by 11.
Okay.
So yeah, based on the data we have, when overnight tonight is the dumping going to happen?
So you know that it's going to happen in basically the next scheduled dump is in 2 days.
Oh, 2 days. Okay.
A day after you do the kidnapping. So, you know, because remember, you've been working on the case since you got the information. So basically, it's going to be happening sometime around 10 o'clock tomorrow night, the day after the kidnapping. So in 2 days.
Okay.
So you'll kidnap her at 11 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock the next day is when the dump is supposed to happen.
So it'll be like 24 hours later. So after
Exactly.
we get her, we have 24 hours to like convince her and set everything up and then go.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, that could be convenient. So I say, you know, plan on doing it that evening, the evening of the 10th, when they're going to do the dumping. The protest will happen. We'll try to get in ahead of time or during or something. We'll come up with some scheme that way.
Okay. So, you know, she's cool with that. You know, after the little montage of you guys plotting this kidnapping, she then pats you guys on the shoulder and steals some of the tamales that were dropped off at your place, which are really good, by the way. And then,
Nice.
you know, she takes off in a lot better mood than she was in, knowing that she's plotting a kidnapping.
I thought that would cheer her up. Alright. So the other thing I wanted to do is move the car closer to where we are now. What on earth?
I'm just rolling some dice to see what they come up as.
Alright, so is there like this place had a garage, didn't it? But we stashed
it had a garage that you crashed the car into, remember?
And we have the car crashed into it. I didn't crash the car into it.
Yeah, the car died as you pulled it into the covered garage.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
As there's, you know, you open up the garage and there's this bad smell of the hopper leaking fluids. It could have been worse.
Yeah. So anyway, well, is there a place like nearby outside that we could park it?
Well, it's not
Like
moving
our
unless
car.
you have a mechanic.
No, our car.
Oh, your car? Yeah, there's a few
some
places
safe
you could
place?
park it.
Okay. We just want to be like, if the street's safe enough, can you just park it there?
It should be fine.
Well, we can see it from the window, right?
You know, many a repo man's had no problem when they can still see it from the window. But yeah, you've got parking that you can see from the window.
Okay.
It'll be good.
right.
And
theoretically.
besides, you have the local neighborhood protection gang here. I mean, these are the guys who protect the neighborhood from bad elements.
Yeah.
I know you're painting them as big bad, mafiosos, but they really just are one of those old-fashioned 50s gangs that protect their hood.
Fingers when they run down the street.
You know, they make sure Tia's purse isn't stolen on the way to the cool food vendor down the street that gives her free food.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're doing this plan. What time is the camera coming back on, so to speak?
Is okay. Move the cars. Is there any other prep work we want to do?
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, we got the location. We know what we're doing. So really, it all comes to whether or not we're able to convince her or not to cooperate and finalizing getting in and stuff like that.
Have we dug up any dirt on her?
I can try to search.
I'm wondering if have we tried already. I don't know. I don't remember.
Definitely do a look. See what additional information or dirt might be had.
That could be helpful.
And
Might
that way
help convince her a bit.
And that way, I guess you have some more leverage on her in your discussions.
Discussions.
Well, yeah, he's not going to beat her up.
Yeah, that's not how I like to operate.
So I need to do a net roll.
Yep, and exactly what is the angle you're going for on this?
I'm kind of doing a dirty search, see if I can find any kind of incriminating stories or elements or anything about her.
Or even if you can't find dirt per se, if we can kind of find out like what makes her tick, like what seems to motivate her, at the very least, we can try to find something like that out too.
Okay.
Just thought.
And we will do net search, which let's see here. Knowledge check, make turn twice, or where'd it go?
Upgrade
All
twice
right.
and upgrade the difficulty
ability
once.
check twice, and yeah, the difficulty of the check once.
I like that. Something interesting is going to happen regardless. This is good.
Yeah.
Ready when you are.
Ready. All right.
As you were trying to hack into her high school diary vlog.
I clicked. I think. Oh, there it went.
Wow. Okay. So as you're getting this like all night montage of data that you're pulling off the internet and trying to collate down to like a psychological profile on her. So you find the information you're looking for and then some. So go ahead and ask me exactly what you're looking for, so I can answer you honestly and openly.
Sure. What do you want in there?
Well, there's kind of what scene, like, given this dirt, you found a bunch of stuff, like, what sort of, like, makes her tick? Like, what's something she cares about more than, like, is she motivated by, like, money, or is it prestige, or is it, whatever? And either something like that maybe, or
okay. So let's go one question at a time. We'll go one question at a time.
Saying, I was wondering like what you thought was better. Like,
okay.
It was trying to find out, like, really having a solid key on what makes her tick, or just having something that she would be willing to do anything to keep from getting out.
Yeah. Well, it's up to you. You're the one that's going to be manipulating that data against her. I'm just a searcher for it.
Well, I guess just have something that you like, that she would go to extremes to not let anybody find out.
Okay, so are you ready to ask your questions? Now remember, these got to be like a question, not question and, you know,
Right.
a good open, you know, to closed question. So what is your first question about her? Now that
Yep.
you literally have a "this is your life" hollow wall of her.
Yep. I mean, you ask. I'm just the one facilitating
Okay.
the search. I mean, this is your data you want.
You guys get 3
work
questions and something for the triumph.
3 questions. Okay. First question is, what seems to be the most important thing to her?
Okay, her primary motivation, according to all this, comes down to 2 things. It used to be fame and reputation, and in the last 2 years or so, it's now money. Which
Just
coincides with what you found earlier about her being paid off to kill stories. She used to be concerned with trying to be the #1 reporter, but she could never do it. She kept being that runner-up, you know, stuck out there in the hurricane, on site reporting when she wanted to be the anchor woman, but she always had to be the on-the-scene girl, where she wants, you know, she wants the fame, but just kept missing it. But then she kind of drastically took a swing about 2 years ago to money is her motivator. So she's doing sensational stories that get tracks to her blog.
So, thought on the money side is, if there's something that money's being gotten for, like she's in debt or something like that, would be my thought. Or, you know, so.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be worth knowing. Like, what is she collecting the money for?
Okay, so what's your next question?
Well, that was, you know, I thought that was a good question. Let's go with that one.
Okay, so phrase it in the form of a question. Yes, I'm going to Alex Trebek in honor of Alex Trebek.
All this money grubbing. What's all the money grubbing for? Like, what's she trying to buy or save up for?
Or where's it going to?
Thanks to Maestro's great net slicing, he's discovered that since her last surviving parent died 2 years ago, she has got a really bad itch for body modifications. Now, it's not like combat mods or anything like that. It's basically tweaking to make herself look better, to her voice to sound a little better. And it seems to be super subtle Gmods that she's under.
Interesting.
But it almost looks like, from what Maestro pulls up on her records, that she's got that, you know, that horrible self-image addiction to body mods. You know, where they start doing modifications when they shouldn't be doing modifications to their body. It's kind of sad. Kind of hits you in the heart. It's not like having part of your, you know, brainstem pulled out for cool networking slicing gear. That totally makes sense.
It's not useful in anything, is it? I was thinking for the third question, like having some, you know, having proof of some like extraordinarily, like something that she would not want anybody to ever find out about, like a deep, deep dark secret that could ruin her.
Okay, now how ruined are we talking? Because it exists, it's out there, and like Maestro found it.
She would go to any length to protect, if such a thing is possible.
Okay.
Like something just awful that she would, you know, she'd give she wants all this money. Something that she would pay to keep quiet. You know,
so thanks to Maestro's insanely genius, once he learned her IP address, he starts hacking anything related to it. He went back to her early career, all of 4 years ago, and discovered that early in her career, she actually plagiarized a fellow reporter's article. And she got away with it because he was killed on scene in a crime shootout the day after he wrote it.
Oh, wow.
And she literally stole it word for word, just changed the written by part.
That's got her big jump.
That got her her first big out there to get noticed. Because it was a crime fluff piece about some of the mafias out there doing some shenanigans with the police departments. There seemed to be no way you could find out who her secret source is. Maybe because she never actually talked to her secret source. Because you discover when you're reading the information later that after she did this big release, she kind of let the story go without any follow-ups. So it definitely sounds like whoever the secret source was disappeared when the reporter who actually wrote the article that was murdered in the scene. Almost like he might have been murdered because of the article. Wow, that could totally be a thing for a future thing right there.
Thing for a thing. Oh my goodness. She's a bad one. Well,
Maybe she can turn from bad girl to good girl and want you guys to solve that case next.
well, I don't know.
And you have the triumph.
Oh gosh.
So all these things are so totally honest and true and correct. So you've got this big, powerful Easter egg that she plagiarized her first major report.
Yeah.
You've got all these dirty little secrets on her. What are you going to do with it?
Well, let's see.
Any thoughts?
Do you want to take a quick
this sounds
5-minute
like-
break to coalesce this information?
I could use a bathroom break, that's for sure.
I could
Sure.
totally use some beverage. Okay, we'll take a quick 5-minute break to get beverage and bathroom break.
Right on.
Alright, be right back, guys.
Yep.
You're back.
Did you get your stuff there set up there, Scott?
What?
Did you get your stuff all set up, your guy?
Just did.
Nice.
It's not like the original one, but I kind of like it better.
Sweet.
Although my character's a her, not a him.
Ah, okay.
I'm back if anyone else is.
Yay.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Depends. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you now.
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Okay,
This time around.
do you want me to
So
send it on Skype or on Facebook?
Whichever's easier for you.
Okay.
So I
It's
have an
a-
idea about the Triumph.
It's
Let me know
not.
what you think, David.
It's not like the original one, but I think it's a lot better.
So what were you gonna say about the Triumph?
Well, in anticipation of us needing to, trying to get access with her, perhaps the Triumph. Like in anticipation of this, we looked around a little bit and we can get like a set of, make it look like we have credentials to like be part of her crew or something.
Well, remember, the Triumph was her plagiarism.
Oh, that was her plagiarism.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, okay. I don't think you can send files on Facebook.
Yeah, if you click are you on, click the plus sign and it'll give you the paperclip in chat.
I'm on the chat. I can't see it. Oh, there's the plus sign. Paperclip. Okay. Thank you.
Not a problem. And it should be a tiny file, so it shouldn't be
Yeah, it's
too big for
only-
Facebook.
It's only 4K.
Facebook always cries if it gets too big of a file.
Yeah, it does. It can be very finicky.
Did you get it?
Yes, but since it's a exports, it's not wanting to open apparently.
Oh,
No, you probably
Uh,
need to
Save
save
it
it.
as
what
a-
I need to do is copy it and then import it into Genesis Imperium, maybe?
No, all you have to do is go ahead and pull it up as a character sheet, hit the print, and do print
Okay.
to PDF and send me the PDF.
Oh,
Because
sorry.
no problem. Because the problem is Facebook's not letting me open up this file because it doesn't recognize its type. Because it's an export of what I need to import,
Oh, okay.
and it's why it's saying, is this a paint or media player item? It doesn't understand what the program's name means.
Right. It's like, what the hell?
Okay, so little chance for you guys to get sack time as the video montage outside the apartment, the house goes as you see cars going, businesses opening, businesses closing, businesses opening. Sun comes up a little too uncomfortably early for you guys who have been up too late. Now, I'm assuming everyone is crashing, so nobody has to worry about making resilience checks for staying up without any sleep, right?
Right.
Right.
And you guys locked the closet quite nicely, so that way your guest in the closet stays in the closet?
Until we know what else to do with him. Yep.
Yeah. For right now. Yeah.
I'll make sure he gets a little food and water.
Oh, that's nice of you.
I don't want to I don't want the guy to starve to death or anything. Yeah, I make sure he gets water. Like, I give him a portion of what we've got.
The important question is when he needs to get rid of the water.
He can knock and we'll take him, escort him to the bathroom if he must.
Okay.
I know it's awkward, but what are you gonna do?
It's all fun and games until he asks if you can, handle his machinery for him.
And they're like, don't make it weird, dude. Don't make it weird.
Yeah, I forgot. Didn't we make some deal with him or something?
Something. I'm a little fuzzy on exactly what.
Well, he's cooperating as requested. He's cooperating.
Right, but I don't remember what it was we learned from him or.
Well, we got a bunch of the information from him about.
Oh, is he the one that provides
stuff? But yeah. I was trying to think that.
Now, remind me, did he work for the company itself and was doing this as a side thing, or
he works for the company?
Yeah.
He does, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he have obviously we have his coveralls and stuff if we need him.
Well, he's an office type. He's not like some worker guy. He's an office type. He borrowed a couple of the Bioroids and was off to go do this thing. And then all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. He was just supposed to kidnap some little old lady and shut these people up. He knew nothing about the sniper, the explosion, crazy guy jumping into the freaking car.
Does he have any work credentials on him or anything, ID badges?
He does have his ID badge, yes.
No, but his whole account was already
burned. When he never,
right.
When he never returned to the office, the indemnable people cleaned his, system clean.
We can we could use this idea as a template if we want to come up with a forgery. If we might need that some way somewhere.
Yeah, but it's not going to access anything.
No, but it might if when we're inside we get approached at some point, we can just flash it real quick, possibly buy us a few seconds to get moving. I'll hang on to it just in case.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just in case.
Yeah, for some reason I was thinking he was even being offered alternate opportunities and work, if I remember right, from Darwin. I don't remember exactly.
I don't remember exactly either.
So cool. All right, so basically it's waiting the day. I can't think of anything to do until she gets here. We got the dirt, so it's really just where we have to go from your conversation.
Yeah, well, a lot of it will hinge on whether or not she cooperates.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I just want to sit back, heal up, rest up, get ready for the excitement.
Okay, so you guys basically get nice chill time. Somebody gets up as some nice, warm, fresh horchata's delivered.
If we've got some downtime, I wasn't allowed to bring any of my good stuff down the beanstalk, even though I've got the paperwork to use it. Can you guys get me some things?
Like, get some things.
Yeah, like weapons, armor, better med kit. I don't think I actually introduced myself.
We don't. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I fix things. Or break them. Depends upon which one you want.
I look over at Maestro and just kind of shrug. Neither at the moment, maybe.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
there's like fixed people. Are you like you're a medic?
Yeah, I fix people, I fix machines, whatever you want.
Oh, okay. Cool. I mean,
well, a lot of people are machines these days. You really can't know one without the other, or at least that's my opinion.
As all of a sudden she becomes a lot more talkative today.
right.
It's almost like she may have had jet lag from coming down the beanstalk.
There you go. Getting used to the gravity. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to help you with equipment, but like we have sparse equipment ourselves.
Yeah, we're not really like geared. I don't even carry a gun.
Oh.
Yeah, I have my starting palm stunner, and I have a pistol that was acquired. So, and then
all I was able to take down the beanstalk was this monoblade. Even though I have permission to get some good heavy stuff and carry it.
Yeah.
Show you the special use permit, which gives me the ability to carry heavy weaponry.
Nice.
Oh man, you could get in so much trouble with or without that.
It's nice to have that option. But yeah, we don't really have any spare gear running around. I mean, most everything I operate with is attached.
Yeah, I've got like a kit, like a bag full of like just kind of like odds and ends of things, but I don't have any like high tech gear or anything. Yeah, and aside from palm stunners, no weapons. I wouldn't know where to get that. I try not to shoot people as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I got a pad, a utility belt, and a comm link that's like the extent of my gear, besides my cyber stuff.
Yeah, I've got some splat patches and a med kit along with my pad and comm link. We should probably link our comm links.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Definitely.
Yeah, so
make that happen.
And thanks to the beautiful thing that is the sci-fi tech of the future, it's just like phones. You just click them together and they download the information.
Sure.
Remember when that was super cool and first came out?
I guess.
Kids these days, they live in a wonderful age.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore. They just text to each other.
I know, it's sad.
So yeah. Yeah, and I don't have tons of money either.
The breaking things includes people too.
Damn.
Do you have a toolkit and
a toolkit
or something? I don't know. didn't go that route, so I don't know if they.
Oh, no, I was not able to take down my mechanical toolkit, just the med kit.
It was too much encumbrance for your load.
Okay.
It's something I'll need. It's something I'll need to get while I'm down here.
Yeah. Well, we can work on that once we're back, like, operational. You know, kind of hard where we're at for too much.
Yeah, sorry. When you said toolkit, I thought you meant for interrogation.
No. I was thinking you said you fixed mechanic stuff, so figured you might have a portable toolkit.
I did, but
As the way she says interrogation, you're thinking, "Whoa, this chick may have some military background."
Right. All right. So you can do medical stuff, but none of the mechanical side yet. Okay.
No, I can do the mechanical side. I just don't have the tools.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you don't have the tools to easily make that part happen.
Well, actually, did the truck we came in on the until recently kidnapping vehicle, did that have any tools in it?
You know what? It had some basic tools, but not a really nice, durable kit. You know,
No,
you think that if
kit.
some threat happens, tools are going to start breaking.
Okay, well, at least there's some out in the garage with that wreck. You might be able to cobble together a few odds and ends.
Yeah. We'll have to work on getting that once we're done with this mission.
And
Hopefully
Scott,
won't
you
need a
should be able to
toolkit.
see your token now. And you should be able to move it around if you want. Which, if you could, to see if it works. I used the picture you had on the character sheet.
So,
There.
Yep.
There you go. So if we're kind of resting all day, I assume we get our strain back.
Yep, you guys get your strain back.
Okay.
And a day of rest is what, 1 wound?
Yep.
You had wounds?
Oh, do you have any wounds?
Oh.
Remember when he parkoured into the car?
Yeah, I had some.
That's right.
I've got 2 points. Well, actually, after tonight, I'll have 1 point to heal.
Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, you got all crazy up in there.
Parkour.
In
So
the cabin.
I'm down 1. Down 1 hit point.
Okay, no, you're not.
Does that mean you're going to do a medicine check?
I'm going to use apothecary. I don't need.
Ooh. Okay.
What's that? That sounds fun.
And what does apothecary do?
It gives me the ability to just. I thought it gave me the ability to just give somebody 1 strain back, but let me double check.
Well, he's good on strain. He needs.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
need strain. It's a wound.
Yeah. It's wound he needs.
Which might be a medicine check. But an easy medicine check, since it's really just a bruise he's got.
When a patient under your character's care heals wounds from natural rest, they heal additional wounds equal to twice your character's rank in apothecary.
Nice. So you gave him 2 aspirin before he went to bed, and he feels even super better.
Drink some water, take some aspirin, see me in the morning.
You need to hydrate. If you bleed while peeing, let me know.
Yeah, that's not even a roll.
Nice.
And change your socks.
Always keep your socks dry and clean.
Yep.
Although it's an ROT talent, so can I still take it?
Yeah.
Okay.
An ROT?
That's Realms of Terranoth.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But it
Yeah,
works
I
for
think
doctors.
all Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you're not doing magic skills from any of the lists.
It just means you're a good pharmacist. I mean,
Yep.
what is a pharmacist other than an apothecary? Because that's
Yep.
literally exactly what they were.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys basically are chilling. You've got your hostage tied up on the couch watching telenovelas because it seems that this Holo TV is stuck on that channel.
Yeah. All right.
The
Fair enough.
knob's broken off.
No, it looks like somebody got angry and took the button out after somebody kept changing the channel.
So, I'm gonna ask. Oh, never mind. No, I don't want to deal with him anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just I think that once we're able to get in, do this, make sure he's not going to throw a monkey wrench in it, we can let him go when all this is after we get back out of that place again.
Aww.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I mean, yeah, his career's ruined, and like I said, I think that if he might have been given some opportunities, but I don't remember. We basically, I know we had offered, we'd try to, like, get money, get his bank account taken care of or something. Cause
Oh, there was
it
many
locked
offers
as
to
well.
set him up with his new career.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I can't afford brass knuckles.
I mean, technically, everyone can have a pair. They just can't afford to buy them, unless you get the catalog.
Can I have brought them down?
If you have the cash, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, if you bought them, yeah, anything you bought, you managed to bring down. You have a permit that allows you to bring a heavy rifle on the city streets. I'm pretty sure they'll overlook brass knuckles. Or you put it in your cargo. Because remember, it's like on an airplane. You can bring a gun on a plane as long as it is disassembled, not with ammo, and in your luggage. And
Probably
know that they
secured
will
and
check
declared.
your luggage. So you guys get a rather urgent message around 10 o'clock that night. Unless I give you a long pause for any final things you do before the message comes in. After the message comes in, no retro. Except for the retros. So are you guys good?
I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys get an urgent ping on Maestro's pad.
Wait. Did you import the stuff yet? Because it's not pulled up.
Not everything should be on your character sheet because I haven't put what the talents are yet because I haven't looked them up for you in the book.
Oh, okay.
But I've got your skills, your wounds,
Okay.
and stuff
If I
in there.
need to do any rolls, I'll do them here.
Oh no, you can do it in your character sheet. If you click on the skills tab, your skills are all in there.
It's just you'll have to
When I
read
pulled it up,
whatever.
I didn't get anything.
You want to refresh because you may have had it open while I was playing in it.
Because I got to refresh after everything.
Yeah,
Sorry.
because I've got it. It's coming up for me, so it should come up for you once you refresh it.
Okay.
Because I was pulling in my own instance of your character sheet, so whatever I changed, you probably didn't see.
Right.
How about now? As I close out your
Okay,
character
let me
sheet.
completely get out and get back in
Okay.
rather than just refreshing.
Okay, so you guys get a manic phone call from Diabla.
Okay. Hello. Is everything okay?
As you hear this like screaming hinging on a hopper and some yelling and screaming, and she's like, "You did not tell me that Buto would be armed and have bodyguard escort. Some crazy guy.
It was an ambush.
Some crazy guy with a camera and a gun took a shot at one of my boys when we tried to grab her, and she pulled a palm stunner on Pablo, knocked his ass out." As one of the guys, you can hear him yelling in the background, he pulls this unconscious guy up and he kind of shakes him. He's like, "He's not waking up, but I think he's still breathing." Remember that roll I did that
told
just...
you that they were setting up an ambush.
And that's why I jumped her before she got to the ambush site. Can you believe that crazy bitch was running around with 2 cam drones taking pictures of her while she was walking? And then when we try to grab her, the crazy guy following her about a block behind with his own camera takes pictures of us, and then as soon as we try to grab her, he pulls a freaking gun and starts shooting at us.
I assume this means that you don't actually have her.
You assume correctly. As you see her like spin the wheel a different direction to hit a hard corner.
Jeez. Well, so much for that plan. Okay.
Well, actually, no. She never actually got to the site.
We tried to ambush her about a block and a half before the spot that you gave us. And she like immediately, she says, send pictures 3 and 4. And because of the advantage, conveniently, they got photos of almost the whole thing. Because one of the guys thought it would be funny to take selfies of the kidnapping.
Oh, jeez.
As you see
my character's still not coming up.
Okay, let me refresh and see if that helps you.
Okay.
Okay, try now. Because it's coming up for me. And you may want to hit Alt-Tab just in case it's popping up in a different window.
No, the name comes up and the bio and info tab comes up, but there's nothing on it.
Oh, you're going to want to hit Character Sheet tab.
There is no Character Sheet tab. I just told you everything that's in the window.
Did you give him permission?
Yep, he's the only person that has permission to control it besides me.
Huh.
Okay, I'm going to click all players and go ahead and hit refresh. And she sends you these HoloNet pictures of, it looks like this funny guy taking selfies with his homies. And then all of a sudden you see this picture as they drive by her once, and you see her talking to a drone cam in front of her, and then there's another drone cam taking her profile shot. And then all of a sudden you see the car come to a stop coming the opposite direction. And you see them kind of like one guy reaches out and kind of grabs her to pull her. And then you see this like blinding flash in the picture. Obviously her palm stunner going off. She must, her daddy must have raised her right. Always have the palm stunner ready. Then all of a sudden the guy kind of like falls out of the hopper with her. And then kind of looks, and immediately you see like out the rearview mirror, you see the some guy with a big camera gear. It's one of these like chest rigs that has this rather large camera on his shoulder, probably taking holo camera footage. And he basically stops and pulls a pistol out of his holster in his side and starts shooting at the car. As she comes scampering back, and the guy that got stunned, other guy reaches out and drags him in as the hopper starts taking off, and you see him kind of bounce on the ground a couple times.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that all went well.
And then you're just hearing a slew of her cussing out the idiots as the other guy starts to cough and wake up.
I'm glad you're all okay.
Okay, James, I sent you a snip of what's on my character, or what I see, through Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, I see. I just did a quick look because he did it all for everybody to see if I could see stuff, and just quick glance.
And you're opening the one that says Scott, right? Or I see there's the one that doesn't say Scott. I did the one that says Scott.
Oh, I don't see anything that says Scott. It just says Uyu Driz goatee.
Yeah, and after behind it says Scott in brackets.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, okay.
The one on the very top, not the one on the bottom.
Oh, okay. I was doing the wrong one then.
I will make the one on the bottom disappear.
Thank you. Okay, I got it. Sorry.
It's now going down to the NPC range. It's going to be an NPC, your evil doppelganger.
It's Buck Rogers. All right. Sorry.
Are you on the Hero channel?
Me TV.
Ah, yep. Now my head has the Buck Roger theme song.
All right. Oh, yeah, couldn't have done any worse.
Okay, and she's basically apologizing that these two idiots, she shouldn't have brought them, but they were the best help she could get that wouldn't kill the bitch at the first opportunity. Because you did say you didn't want her hurt, so she...
Well, yeah. Do you know where she might be now? Where'd she go?
As soon as we were getting shot at, we took off.
Alright. Okay, I'll kind of... okay, why don't you come on back here, if you're safe enough, you don't have anybody chasing you, and we'll figure out what to do next.
You can always call her from the tip line.
Where are you?
Okay. On that information that we had on her, any known hangouts or anything, or?
Quite a. You can basically just pull up her Futuregram account, her Instagram, that she posts where she is like at the top of every hour practically.
Yeah, let me check her Futuregram page and see like if she has anything up there.
Futuregram and no posts, and people are like, there's this slew of social media fans saying, "Where are you? No posts." This is usually when you go to the club.
Perfect. That's what I was up for.
I like how you just went.
You can always call her.
Well, that.
She didn't know we had any part of it.
Yeah, but I would rather like have her in person, not do another stupid setup of ambush.
And remember, she doesn't know your number, so she could be worrying about you too. But
right. I mean, if we call her and ask where she is or what's going on,
well,
otherwise she'll know it was us.
That's a good point. Excellent point. All right, so yeah, I guess we'll call her again.
Okay, I'm assuming audio only.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, audio only.
Okay.
And sender will just be, what's the word? Misconnections.
Okay, so you pull up her feed and she answers on video. As you can clearly see, she's calling from the inside of some big old warehouse. As she's like waving the phone saying, "Okay, I've had a hard-ass day, Mr. Tipline, and I'm at the meeting site, and it's over 30 minutes since you were supposed to meet me here, and there's no one here but myself and the occasional rat." As she kind of screams when there's some loud bang noise. And my cameraman.
She pops that little detail at the last minute, huh?
Because the rat scared her.
Well, I was heading in, I was running a little early, and there was this huge kerfuffle out on the street. I just hightailed it.
Oh, so apparently you're brave enough to give me anonymous tip information, but a little kerfuffle on a street corner that happens every day is going to scare you away?
When it happens right outside where I'm supposed to meet somebody. Yeah.
Yes.
Where are you right now? I will come to you. And she has this
Okay,
cutest little wrinkle on her nose when she says it, because there's this smudge of someone knocked her in the street corner. She has some schmutz on her face.
Oh.
Don't worry, the Walking Dead makeup guys call it sexy dirt.
All right, let's see. She's there. Do we know of like a relatively quiet, like restaurant nearby that wouldn't have very many people in it?
You tell me, you're the guy that knows the streets.
Oh,
Right?
of course. Yeah, I basically just want this, a little hole-in-the-wall restaurant that basically doesn't ever get very many customers, and tell her to meet there. That's, or it's, not too far from where we are now. I say, I heard gunshots. I didn't stick around to find out more. This time we'll do it in a public place. I don't really want to get shot over this.
And she kind of looks at the camera like she's calling possible bullshit here. Give me a deception check against a reporter.
It's gonna be tough, isn't it?
Probably.
Where'd my character sheet go? Oh, I refreshed it, didn't open it back up again.
Yeah, deception is like my one skill that I actually have a tiny bit in. I'm actually 3 green for deception. Everything else is 2.
Did you just use a story point?
I did.
I thought I heard a beep on someone else's computer, but not mine, so I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no.
Let's see, where's that deception?
I have your upgrade
social
in.
separated.
She's getting suspicious after she was almost kidnapped on the street corner. And she looks at you through the holovid like she could see your eyes, and you feel her indiscriminate stare, that she's using her Ghost Rider penitent stare on you, and you're just kind of like, gulp. You have one advantage. What would you like to use that for?
Well, obviously I'm not coming across, she may not believe me, but I want, she's just still a little bit interested.
Okay. So she
doesn't believe what I'm saying, but she's interested.
She looks at you and says, I agree. Someplace public. Do you know Cho's Noodle Stand at 45th and 9th?
Yes.
If you're in the neighborhood, then you should be able to meet me there in less than 5 minutes. And she hangs up the phone. You know for a fact that if you were all to jump into your car right now and drive like a mother, you would need 3 successes to get there in time.
Oh, man. All right.
Or possibly get lucky and get some triumphs.
Right.
But you don't have time to dilly-dally. If you're gonna do it, you gotta run to the car right now.
All right. Anybody who's coming with me, come now.
Yep. We're loading up.
I
Okay.
think we all do, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm
all
going.
3 of you go flying out of the house and run to the car.
Yep.
As your hostage on the couch looks at you guys and says, "Bring me back some noodles. It sounds really good."
You just be good. Stay here. We got you covered.
Yes, I used another story point.
Okay, I'm good with
Maybe
that.
those
That's what
today.
they're there for. Okay,
Alright,
so
so-
I'm gonna give you a black because, well, you're rushing at party time of night. Sadly, this is when the
Okay.
shift changes happen. That's kind of why she wanted to do it at that time, because there be traffic and kerfuffle, and you have to ride like a bat out of hell.
And can
Alright.
I do a check to
pick some.
Alter the
Silk
lights.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I will warn you, public lighting system is a very well protected system, so it is hard with 2 black.
Is it?
It is. Do you have anything that takes the black out, or do you already have that on your character sheet?
I do have 2
It's
back.
almost like
I
the
have it
city
already
doesn't want every hacker in a city of 2 million hackers screwing with the city lights.
Well, exactly. But yeah, I do have something that takes that out. So.
Okay, cool.
And it's already in there. So.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you had it, so it'll automatically take it out.
Yep. And we are hacking. I forget my skills here.
Because you're hoping for a Triumph or 3 Advantage to give him another upgrade.
Yep. So
and yes, we're saving Dante's story point for Dante's driving roll, right?
Yeah. And that's defensive. Okay, just make sure what my skills are real quick. Okay.
It's good. It's good to double check.
Yep. All right, here we go.
Like a boss. Okay. So you're definitely giving him a blue dice because you are turning every light green the direction you need. Unfortunately, the other lights are still going green, so he's, combat driving at its best. Yeah. And you have the advantage to send. Would you like to give the next person to go blue with that?
Sure.
So he gets 2 blue.
And I do have a question. I have the shortcut talent, and it specifically talks about a blue and a chase or escape. I'm not sure.
I will consider this a chase since you are totally pulling a Ferris Bueller chasing her to the noodle shop.
Okay.
Dun 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 dun. Dun.
And while we're driving, I'll call Esmeralda real quick. Tell her where we're going. Tell her that the guy back at the apartment needs a babysitter.
And she just looks at you and says, "Does he have a gun too?" And she did a head tilt if you didn't hear it in my voice. So yes, I have your driving. I got an upgrade, 3 blue against a black and 3 purple. And to think, I was totally going to use the story point myself.
Okay, where's that?
As Maestro just keeps doing the Professor Xavier look and the lights turn green. Totally creepy.
Right.
You gotta teach me how to do that, man. Boom.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, so important question. Yes, you make it there in time. You have a Triumph, and some shit's gonna happen. Yeah. So how do you want to use the Triumph so I know how to spend my threats? And that's like 3 stars in Grand Theft Auto, by the way.
I don't know what that means.
It means cop cars are chasing after you.
Oh.
Unless you use your Triumph to undo that. You could totally say that they were following you and you ditched them.
I would like to say, I get there clean. Nobody chasing.
Okay, so in the last couple blocks, you did some crazy-ass driving shit. Straight out of 70s cop TV. You will take some damage to the vehicle. As, you avoided some granny walking down the crosswalk and basically got sideswiped. Totally not enough to kill the vehicle, but it is damage. And there may have been some police hoppers involved, but none that you saw after you kept taking turns because you did the whole baby driver thing. And you just pull into the parking spot outside the noodle shop with plenty of time to walk in and place an order before she gets there.
All right.
Or, get out of your car and leave your compatriots behind so it looks like you're alone.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my question. Should all 3 of us be there, or you want us to take a different boost?
You guys maybe take up a spot where you can just keep an eye on things.
Yeah. Come in separately so that we're
exactly
doing independent stuff there.
Okay.
Should be in.
So thankfully this is a family noodle shop, so the hostess is actually an old Biroid model, very mechanical looking. She introduces you to the restaurant and the menus and seats you guys in 2 separate seats. She politely asks, "Are you sure you don't want to sit together?"
Oh, actually, quick thing. Can you send just maybe some of the information that we got, some of it onto my pad so that I have something to show her when she gets here?
Ooh,
Sure.
Good point.
Sure.
And then okay, and no, we took a cab together. We don't know each other.
Very well. If you'd like to order, please press the order button and enter your selections. And of course, you see on the table there's an automated, ordering system. And she sits you down at the 2 tables and then goes back to the little hostess waiting kiosk. And then anything you doing for like the next minute or two?
Minute or two? Me, I just want to take a real good look at my surroundings.
It's a busy noodle shop. You see lots of working folks in their different companies' overalls working. Most of them look definitely blue collar. You're getting a very, very much warehouse factory worker feel on most employees.
I want to get the feel as in, does anybody who's in here look like they're, I don't know,
Trouble.
like out of trouble or out of place, or anything does anything get the spidey sense tingling?
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception. Okay, so you feel fairly safe. You don't see anybody like openly packing. There's probably some people having, concealed carry guns, but that's just because it's a shitty neighborhood. Trust me, the south side of this district, pretty much the above ground and the criminal underground blend in. So it's basically, think of the worst of Hell's Kitchen, to the south. So folks probably have some self-defense on them walking these streets. But pretty much up and up, nobody looks like trouble. Everybody's hanging out with their groups and eating their food. And you notice there's a few company cliques, everybody going out for mealtime at the same time as a group for safety. Or just to hang out with your homies and actually get to talk with the supervisor, chirping over your shoulders saying, "Get back to work."
Oh, well, I want to order some pho.
Okay, they've got good noodles here.
Yeah. Well, I'll order, and also then any cameras.
There's a
buildings.
few cameras, but they seem to all be pointed at like the cash register and the door. Most of the booths are out of the camera's point of view. It's almost like they've been robbed before and don't want to.
Right.
As about a minute or two passes, and you see a very familiar face come walking in, and the hostess immediately asks the server, and she's like, "Do you know who I am?" And she's just like stops, and you hear this replay of her own voice saying her name. She's like, "Yes, that's me." It's like, "Very well. How many occupants at your seat?" And she kind of like looks at her as the reporter looks around and kind of says, I'll give me just a minute to wait for the rest of my party. And she kind of like sits back in the courtesy seating, the little 2 benches, and she's kind of shaking her pad like she's waiting for it to ring. And she just seems really angry and frustrated. You see like smudge on her face, and you see that she's got a little rip in her skirt.
I'll carry my noodles over and sit down across from her.
Well, she's at the entrance. Like Denny's, how they have those benches inside the front door?
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, I'll, in that case, is she, I'll stand up, walk over, and, "Yes, care to join me?"
And she kind of gives you the up and down eyeball, like she's checking you out. And then she kind of like, she's looking to see if there's any, inflection in your words, but she's not quite picking up that you're like trying to be subtle, or are you just trying to hit on her?
Well, trying to be subtle, but that didn't, maybe a little too subtle.
Okay.
I say, "Well, okay, come on, I get hit on by creeps all the time, I'm sure, but, I think I have a good story to tell that you might want to hear.
She kind of perks that one eyebrow up that she does when she does her reporting. She thinks you might be who she's here to see, and she just kind of like gets up, kind of dusts herself off as much as her scuffed knees will dust off, and she just looks at you and, well, you seem to be the least creepiest creep I've met tonight. Let's hear what story you have to talk about.
All right, care to join me then?
And and she definitely gives follow.
Okay, so I have a seat. She came in alone?
She came in alone.
Okay. So I guess the first thing I'll do is, I'll say like, yeah, sorry about the change of venue, but like I said, when things get dodgy, that's not a good place to talk.
And she just kind of wrinkles her nose. You say that in a non-committal face, but you kind of get that she's not impressed by your gallantry.
That's fine.
Especially since she does.
Okay, so.
Especially since she does the. So you left me alone to face the danger. Is that what you're saying? And she's basically looking to read your face. She's looking to see if you do the alpha male thing or if you got something better to say.
I say, I'm not your knight in shining armor. Now look, what do you want to do? What are you going to do with the information that I gave you?
Well, as soon as we get something concrete, I can run with the story and possibly hit all of the big vlogs and news channels. But the problem is, the company's got really good lawyers, so we have to make sure what we have is completely damnable evidence.
Okay, and that evidence can be achieved if we are able to get on site.
And she kind of like squints her eyes and she's like, exactly, that's the problem I've had. Is the place is a fortress and it's under 24/7 surveillance.
Oh, so you do know which place it is.
And she kind of like looks back and forth like she's missing part of the conversation, and she's just like, you've spoken with the Jaguars, correct?
The Jaguars? Well, they told me that you were running a piece, but before when we talked, you made it sound as if you didn't know which company was doing the dumping.
Well, that was before I verified, because the only ones who know that I'm doing this story are the Jaguars. So I'm making the leap that they must be working with you and me as well. Am I wrong? And she's kind of giving you the glance where she's trying to look through your soul to see your brain working.
Well, I don't work with them per se. I just thought I just came upon some information that thought might be useful for such things.
Do you have an internal earpiece?
No.
Oh.
That's funny, because she does.
Uh-huh. All right, so okay, so you know who's doing, you know where to go to get the information.
Well, I suspect. I mean, we know it's upriver, and we know that they've all been saying who the company is. I mean, that's why. Mm-hmm. And she kind of stops and pauses, almost like she's listening to something. But then she looks at you and says, "Is there anything you can tell me about the explosion that happened?"
Explosion? What explosion?
Give me a deception check. As she basically quotes about the explosion that happened to the Hacienda complex. Remember the alleyway.
That explosion?
That explosion. He's been
Well,
in so many
she's-
explosions. He needs definitions.
Sure. So she's well. So deception. Where's that one? Oh, again, the social ones are in a different place, aren't
Yep.
they?
And you have
Okay,
a blue dice,
and
by the
now-
way.
I have what?
You have a blue dice, by the way.
Oh, nice. And the other question, is she trying to like see if she recognizes me or just trick me up? And
She's she's asking a question like a good reporter, and she's looking to see if you're telling the truth or not.
Ah, okay.
So she has an earbud in.
She does have an earbud, yeah, an earcom.
Okay. Possible to hijack the comm.
Now there's different things that you can do. You can hack it, which will then let you listen to it.
Right.
If you're wanting to, like, what do
I
you
wanna
mean by
hack and
hijack it?
trace. Well, I want to
Okay.
just, be able to listen in and trace.
Okay, so basically, you can hack it since it is a wireless device. I mean, you can totally try to hack it, and once you've hacked it, you could try to trace.
Okay.
But do you have equipment that would let you do that?
Well, I got my wireless network
That's going to let you do the hacking.
pad.
Okay, so you're going to use your pad to give you the triangulation type of thing?
I suppose so.
Okay, I'm good with you using it as long as you have a extra device to do that, because just your networking gear alone can't do that. You need something that has an operating system to give you a little extra oomph.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's fine.
So first, let's go ahead and get Dante's little eye of what explosion that happened yesterday that I wasn't part of.
Whew. Okay.
That black from Nobody's Fool did not help her at all.
These women get you flustered, huh?
Probably because midway through you lying, she kind of rubbed her leg against your leg and it kind of threw you way off. Usually you're the seducer, not the seducee.
Darn it. I hate this role reversal thing.
Okay, so you start to do this whole what explosion bit and she just cuts you off with that teacher look of she knows the truth.
Okay, so
So as you guys are having your small talk and Dante is fading off into the virtual world where he's going to hack her earpiece, which unfortunately does not have
wow. Oh, sorry.
you were really impressed by it.
Her comm unfortunately does not have additional security measures to it, so it's just 3 purple.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
All right. Here we go.
Wow.
Bad.
So there's the triumph for that tracking if you'd like it.
Definitely.
As you easily slice into her comm piece, as you know, thanks to Dante's distraction, her ear comm is blinking away like all these things are happening now that wasn't happening a second ago. As you know, it's running a whole bunch of information, running a channel to you that you're hearing a voice. It's a very breathy voice, like somebody who just walked a brisk block or jogged a few feet. And you know, immediately you're picking up that it's very short range, you know, because it's a private channel. But since you've hacked her earbud, you've got access to it. And you basically hear him say, okay, listen, this Joker could be anybody. Are you sure that that's him? And you kind of hear, because she's sitting right behind you, when her voice comes over in echo, she's managing to throw into open conversation with Dante her reply to that guy. And you're noticing, do you look at her when she's talking or glance back?
Yeah, because I would have sat where I could glance out from under my hood to.
You can see kind of the reflection in the mirror that when she lifts her hand up and says the words, those words match the reply on the comm perfectly to what was just asked her.
Okay.
And you hear a weird, distinct electrical interference when he says, looks like anybody, and it sounds like it could be some recording equipment going on. You're not quite sure. But what would you like for your triumph and advantages?
I thought my triumph was to.
Oh, I know. I was just giving you
Sure,
your 3
okay.
successes worth. I was waiting for you to ask for it. Okay, so what would you like for 2 advantages? Would you like me to give you your triumph? What do you think of that?
Yeah, actually, I'll give Dante a blue on his next action. So I kind of, like I said, so I'm sitting kind of across from him, so I'm like tapping and do stuff, and I just kind of tap my finger on my ear on the same side that she has her earbud, kind of glanced at Dante.
Ooh, okay, so you're bolstering Dante here.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he kind of knows I am listening.
And as your pad pings back the little GPS and you look out the window, because of course for a moment there you're like, hey, that's right where we, and you look out the window and you realize across the street there is a 50-ish, young 50s-ish Caucasian gentleman with a beer belly. He's wearing an oversized coat. Would almost look creepy if he was near a school, but you notice that under one shoulder there seems to be some electronics with a lens pointed right at the window she's sitting at.
Okay.
Obviously, he's got a holographic camera rig, and he's taking pictures of her and who she's talking to. You know, it's totally going to be awesome black and white because the retro thing is in these days on the news of Dante sitting there talking to her, sucking on noodles.
Nice. Okay.
And he's, you know, you're hearing background noise of the street when he's talking, and you just realize, that son of a bitch, you know, and that's him right there.
Yep, kind of figured. And I'll also record the conversation between them from...
As you bip that little red button. Okay, so Dante, she's kind of calling you on your shit at that point.
Okay. So now I'm going to kind of change tactics a little bit here. I'm going to leave any discussion of it aside, and I'll say, you know, kind of cutting to the chase here. You know, your career was really starting to pick up. You know, it kind of came out of nowhere. You know, you had this huge break, and it got you going. But then you kind of seems like you sold out a little bit. Here, this could be your chance to get back on top.
And she kind of like gasps when you say sold out. This is my shocked face. Now you know why she's in the news and not an actress.
So, you know, but, you know, with a story like this, getting this level of a story exclusive, you really could be back on top again. And everybody gets what they want.
And she kind of takes a moment and like gets comfortable by pulling out the clips that were in the back of her hair that kept it up. And she shakes her head going from none to naughty, you know, as she looks at you and leans over the table using all her feminine charms. As she's just like, do tell me more how we both get what we want. And she clicks the button to order her noodles.
Yeah, at least she's committing to stay a while.
This is true.
So here's the thing with your journalistic integrity and my information, we go in and we can get right in there and get the proof that they're doing this. You know, and I think that, you know, if you were to say pretend like you were willing to, you know, be bribed to show them in a favorable way, we could get in there and get the information. You know, you could pretend like you're on the take, and you could pretend like, you know, you're going to bury the story, but really, you don't bury the story. You get famous.
Okay, I'm gonna give you.
And the little people of the downstream denizens, they don't drink poison anymore. How's that sound?
She kind of nods her head to that, but go ahead and give me a deception check for this great story you're weaving. I like how it was weird. All of a sudden, Maestro's hacking roll popped back up on the screen. I'm like, what? That wasn't.
Well, really, I was actually trying to be subtle about dropping in these things that, a big break out of nowhere, her playthrough. She's maybe just not, pretending to sell out,
Oh, I'm giving
really
you blue die for that.
Oh, okay. But I just meant like I wasn't exactly trying to be deceptive with it. More just kind of.
So are you trying to intimidate her instead? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm trying to play upon her ego, a chance to abandon the selling out route and really publish the article.
Okay, so more of the charm type of thing. Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure.
I'm trying to play to her ego with this.
Okay, go for it. Wow. She kind of looks at you, and she looks at points at your Mendo and says, "You should order your noodles. I don't want mine to be cold by the time yours come out." So what do you think that they're just gonna open the gates and let a reporter in while they're under the scrutiny of some pseudo-terrorist actions? And she throws out terrorist actions. It's not her tablet recording it. It's her friend across the street with his camera.
I know that, but no, that's what pops up on her.
Oh. And she kind of looks down at her. She was trying to be all coy and subtle, but immediately you see her face scrunch up and she looks at the text message that just popped up on her pad, and she just looks around and she looks at you and just squints her eyes saying, "Who else are you working with?"
I just don't give it. I give nothing away and just kind of got a friendly half smile.
So are you going to give me the evidence you have, or are you just playing games? As she orders extra eel sauce on her noodles.
I'll kind of take out my pen and I'll pull up. I'll just kind of give do a kind of a side by side a little bit. Some of the various pieces of evidence on the tablet I have, and I'll just kind of cascade a little montage of images out so she can just kind of get a taste, but not really get it all at once.
Okay.
And I'll just put that halfway across the table.
And speaking of taste, give me a discipline check. Don't roll yet. As she leans in real close to you and says, "What do I have to do for you to get more?" And she says it in this very breathy way that you can feel her breath kind of tickle the tip of your nose.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not interested. I'm just trying to play cool here.
That's why you're rolling discipline, to see how cool you are, dude. I'll take a cool instead of discipline if you'd rather go that way.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm not trying to resist it with willpower. I'm too cool to give into this. When are you ready for the roll?
Go for it.
Haha.
Okay, so when she gets super flirty with you, you kind of feel this roar in your chest. The power of Dante compels you.
Okay, here we go.
So go ahead and just take a point of strain, but you seem to she smells pretty. I don't know what she's
Yeah.
wearing,
Yeah.
but she smells pretty.
Okay.
And she looks you straight in the eyes as the Biroid comes and drops off the noodles. And she says, how about after we finish dinner, we go back to my place?
I kind of figured we'd take a field trip.
And she just kind
If
of
you
perks
really
her
wanna do
eyes
this-
and super
if you really wanna-
seductively slurps a noodle.
If you're really serious about doing this piece, tonight's the night. So, I suggest you gather all your stuff and get ready to go talk to a chemical company.
Well, we shouldn't be in
What?
too much of a hurry. It's almost midnight. Their office won't have any of the executives that actually have real authority there at this time of night. We have at least 6 hours to kill. Do you know how to kill 6 hours? And there's totally private snickers coming from the booth behind you as you're being seduced instead of being the seducer.
Yeah.
And she just silently finishes her noodle bowl because she realizes you're just playing her along with these tidbits. You're not giving her the good stuff yet. And she wants your good stuff.
All right.
Enter Bad Bond jokes. Lady Good Stuff.
Let's see.
I mean, mind you can totally try to charm her back and, gain control here. You can try.
I can, I'm gonna say, like, look, always business before pleasure.
Okay, so you're gonna try
So,
charm to.
I need to know.
Playing hard to get now.
Run, Rabbit, run!
Yeah, I just kind of want to. I want to know how serious you are about this. I come to you with information. I need to know that you're serious.
And she kind of looks at you and looks at her noodles and kind of swirls around that beautiful piece of cooked pork cooked to perfection as she slowly eats the fork and savors every bit. Her eyes closing, she makes this Harry Met Sally noise. As she looks at you, she like just snaps out of her foodgasm and looks you right in the eyes, shark serious, and says, "You've only shown me what you want to tease me with. I want to see what you have."
I gesture toward the pad. You can take a closer look.
Okay, and she starts flipping through your pad, so you left it unlocked?
Just what's immediately on the surface there.
Okay.
Like I've got like the different things right there, so she can look at those. I'll be able to see if she wanders anywhere off the beaten path.
She immediately starts hitting some buttons on the computer, on the pad. Are you gonna stop her?
Yeah.
Okay, so she starts definitely tapping away on something, it's some computery thingy that you're just... What's your computers?
I'll give you would I not even be able to tell if she was doing something?
What's your skill in computers so I can tell you what the basics of what you're seeing her do is?
Oh, just 2 greens.
2 greens. So,
Yeah.
She basically pulls up DOS, and you're seeing a bunch of words and letters that aren't words go screaming by the screen. Are you going to snatch it from her?
Of course. I'm gonna grab it up and say, "Stay out of my personal stuff. I showed you what you wanted to see, and you're, digging around for my browser history. Chill."
And she just looks at you like, "No, I just wanted your phone number so I can call you for another day." As she puts on this fake affectation of a smile. But you did interrupt whatever she was trying to do. Maestro would be proud of you. Because you totally know he was ready to start hacking your pad back.
Pretty much.
Okay, I'm going to kind of... sorry?
You get the idea that she's seeing through your thinly veiled offer and is super suspicious. As she kind of gives you this look like, "What? Why aren't you wanting me to look at your pad? You're not corp security, are you?" And she kind of squints her eyes in half accusation. Because remember, the corporations do this type of shit too all the time. Corporate counter espionage. Which really means steal the secrets from the other guys before they steal your secrets.
Yeah, I said, well, you know, I just didn't want you wandering too far off the beaten path and see something you might want to unsee later. So look, you got a good chance at a story here. You know, if you show me a little trust here, and you will get a genuine article. There will be no need to, do anything, underhanded, like, steal a story from somebody else, for example, or, this will be all you.
Just drop that in there.
Wow.
Yeah. This is got to go somewhere soon.
She politely puts her chopsticks on top of her bowl and kind of slides it towards the window as she scooches out the seats to the point of where she sticks both of her legs in like sexy stocking leg position and points down for you to look up over the edge of the table. Do you do so?
Well, I'll try to do so in a way that, that if she's got like a knife in her shoe or something, I'm not going to get kicked in the
her
eye.
legs are clearly seen by everyone in the restaurant right now, so you assume it's probably not a howitzer.
Okay, all right, sure, I'll take a quick peek.
So you peek and you see her knees. Her knees are all scuffed up and there's a little dry blood on her stockings. And she says, "I think I've shown enough trust for 3 people to be out here this time of night meeting a stranger at not only a dark and spooky warehouse, but also a adequate and tasty noodle shop." And she politely scooches back to her bowl and goes back to slurping some noodles down, giving you the longest noodle slurp silence ever. As she's totally pulling just the lady part of Lady and the Tramp with that noodle, sucking it so slowly. This had to have been like a 10-foot noodle when it started in her bowl. As she's throwing the gauntlet down that I am showing trust. I showed up. I got mugged tonight. You need to give a little. And that's what her silence is telling you. Especially since you've been stammering through lies after lies to her.
Trying to drop the bomb that I know about her shenanigans. She's just making. She's gonna make me say it. All right.
So do me a favor. Give me a discipline check. I mean, since she is doing the noodle trick and she showed her your legs in the sexiest way ever, and you totally didn't fall for her pheromone trick. She's just doing pouty lips, sexy lady stuff. Almost the same thing that Dante does, but from the Y chromosome. I'm just wanting to know how receptive you are generally to her charms. I was going to say, you want to roll that again because you had extra dice on your side.
Yeah, that's like a whole lot of stuff.
As Dante goes home with her and you never see Dante again.
Right?
Okay. Try that again?
Yep.
Where did all that come from? Oof.
It got better at least.
Well, yeah, sort of.
So go ahead and take another point of strain as you're feeling hot under the collar. I mean, she's a very attractive woman. She's had work done, but it was done by very, very well-paid people. And she's making sure every time you look at her body, like it seems like a button pops every time you look.
Ah.
Her thighs are very powerful under her ripped little miniskirt. Her calves are at that perfect proportion, even with the cute scuffs on her knees. The worst part is, because of the rip, you see a hint of a garter, which you know probably has a palm stunner. I mean, the guy did say she came out of nowhere with a palm stunner.
Yeah.
It's good to have quick draw when you have a camera and a palm stunner. Quick draw helps you TMZ that shit. So she basically just looks at you and says, I want to meet you and your partners before this goes any further, unless you want to go back to my room.
I know that they're listening in on the conversation, so I'm going to just pause. I'm not going to look over in their direction, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to kind of use my peripheral vision to see if they give me any sign or anything like that. My partners.
As he kind of sends a pleading look towards you guys of yay or nay.
This is not going well.
David Scott, what do your players say? How awkward is this listening in on this bad date? That's actually a really good date.
Yeah, it's kind of fun watching them kind of sit there all flustered.
I mean, for once, he's the prey and not the predator.
I'm getting nowhere with this.
So,
And she looks at you, and she kind of slides her hand into her blouse and pulls out 2 black cards. One clearly looks like, the classic black credits card. It's that whole untraceable currency card. The other one looks like some kind of hotel or apartment room key. And she puts them both down at the table after she finishes. She puts them down on both sides of her bowl to make sure that you're looking and attentive. And then she leans over, picks up her bowl, and slowly, with appropriate slurping, starts sucking all the juice of her soup. And then puts the bowl down and says, you have to make a choice right now. This card, and she slides the one to the right out a little further, is for me to pay for the dinner tonight. And thank you very much, because it's on the company account. And she kind of winks. This one is a one-use only key to my apartment. Good for only tonight. And after that, it blanks itself. And you and I get in your vehicle and we go back to my apartment. Which of these cards am I using?
Come on, Gaze. Give me a sign here. Give me something.
Are you guys giving a mini signal?
So through this, has the other guy said anything?
You're just hearing at this exact moment a laugh, an old dirty man laugh, as he's like, wow, this kid is either totally batting for the other team, or are you sure he ain't a biroid down below the waist?
Laugh it up.
And then he pops off with can I take option C? You pay for dinner and we go back to your apartment?
If we're gonna get more information, it's time to either do something or come up with another plan.
So, David, is that what Maestro? Who does Maestro send that message to? Your friend is not welcome.
Is not welcome. Yeah. to her pad again from the tip line.
As she looks at the pad and kind of lifts the pad up, showing the message to you of, is your friend trying to send you a message? Are you married? Or is this some hot girlfriend on the other end of the network? Are you recording this conversation?
Are you recording this conversation?
I'm a reporter. Like I told you on the conversation we had last time, everything you say to me is on the record. Remember, she did say that.
What about in this situation? I say, and I point to her room key card.
Well, maybe I want to keep a recording for later. Something for cold nights or long rainy nights.
So I send her the new message there.
As immediately, as soon as she flips the pad back to her, she definitely gets flustered and immediately kind of like starts looking around. Who's got the best stealth between you two? With the mention for cameraman, she's looking around the whole place.
I've got 3 green.
Yeah, I only got 2.
Okay,
But
so do you want to do stealth or deception?
Plus, I also do have unremarkable.
And that adds a black, right?
Yeah.
That is a failure to attempt to recognize or spot in the crowd.
Yeah.
It's a failure?
It adds 1 failure to the roll, yeah.
Okay, so let's see if she looks around. As I try to sucker you guys in using your last story point. As she just kind of like looks around and she notices weird, networking hoodie guy with his pad out and gal next to him that seems, to be oddly interested in the conversation happening in their booth. As she kind of looks back, sits down and hits the privacy button on your booth. And it kind of brings like an opaque field, kind of like sound waves that kind of block any conversation in your booth being heard.
Would it also block any recording devices?
It would block any signals from leaving. So you're pretty sure, unless she's personally recording it, it most likely is not being sent out to be recorded anywhere. And she looks at you and says, "Tell me right now who in this building is with you."
I think you saw them already.
And she just leans forward, gives you cold, cold blue eyes of "Tell me."
I'll just
and
I'll just say something like 2 o'clock, just so that she knows which direction they are, but I give no sort of like other information.
And you see her kind of reach her hand out to the card on the right, and she waves it over at the ordering kiosk.
So I say, there's no need, no need to call your attorneys, Hinkle and Schmidt. This is just, you said you wanted to know who I was working with. You know who I'm working with. This changes nothing. But,
and she puts a healthy tip on the order.
I'll just say that. Gosh, I'm getting desperate. So she didn't respond to the Hinkle and Schmidt comment either.
You want me to pretend to be his girlfriend?
So James, she didn't pick up on the lawyer.
Oh,
reference?
she picked up on it, but she's not fazed by it.
Okay.
I mean, unless you want to throw that out as a coercion, like an intimidation of using it, that might be against her cooler discipline. But just throwing it out like that, they have thousands of clients. They're huge. They're on every bus stop.
So the privacy thing still up?
The privacy thing is still on, and she is sliding her apartment keycard back into her brassiere.
I say, okay, well, this is going to be the last time you get to hear it with the privacy screen up. And then I'll just say, I'll say, I know all your dirty little secrets. I didn't want to have to be so uncouth as to bring that up earlier, but I tried to appeal to the side that you might want to do something good with the story and be successful, but you bring me to this point.
And what truth bomb are you dropping?
I'm gonna tell her, I know how she got her big break. I know where she spends her money. I know where she gets her money, and blowing this thing up, helping us blow this thing up, is the only way that information is going to remain between us.
They were getting full on threat there.
There's the guy, nobody else can hear it, just except the two of us.
It's nice and private. By her own doing. Okay, so give me a coercion, leadership, or I can't say charm. I just can't say charm.
No, I know.
Because you're truth bombing on her ass right now.
Yeah,
I just want to see how badly you've thrown her on her ass verbally. And you have 2 free upgrades, by the way.
Oh.
And apparently one not so free upgrade.
Okay. What I'm trying, you tell me which skill you think this sounds like. I'm trying to get her to want to follow through on the story and really do it.
I would say coercion.
So coercion? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's strong-arming her or trying to appeal to her.
Well, coercion can also be used to, have someone do the right thing. It doesn't have to always be threatening or intimidation. Coercion's kind of a big name for a skill that's used in different ways.
Yeah. Okay, because I would love her to do this voluntarily. Well, at this point.
It's not voluntary when you drop the blackmail information.
Okay.
Yeah. It takes a different route.
That'll be interesting. Building resentment toward character, of course.
Okay, so she squints her eyes at you, and you swear any second you're going to get slapped, stunned, or slashed with her fingernails, which seem like unnaturally sharp at this exact moment.
Mm-hmm.
As you start to wonder, hey, she had lots of biomods. I wonder what else is different about her.
What kind of work she had done?
Her fangs are somewhere else. and she starts to get up as she slips her room.
A lot of people have teeth down there.
As she starts to slip her apartment key back in her little, armored corset-y brassiere, and then sits back down with a huff, and she's just staring bullets at you. As she just seems, you just see the resignation in her shoulders, that your blackmail is more than sufficient to get her to cooperate. And she just sighs and says, "What is it I have to do?" And under her breath, she's like, "And here I thought you were different."
I could have said the same about you.
Damn! No wonder why she wants to kill you.
Yeah. I have a way with people.
How strange. Okay. Usually he's good with the ladies.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, for starters, you come and meet with my team. and we'll go over exactly what it is that we would like you to do. I mean, in the end, if everything goes well here, you can still be the reporter that breaks this giant story.
And
so
she,
there's a little carrot.
She kind of looks at you and puts on this fake mean girl smile that totally reads this fake mean girl smile. Like, oh really?
Yeah.
But she just nods graciously, and you can totally tell she's putting on the facade, and she's purposely not trying very hard. Let's just say she's not spending any advantages on that smile.
That's okay. I have a grudging cooperation is better than no cooperation at all.
And she kind of backhands the privacy button so it drops, and she just says, "Fine, you're driving. Lead the way."
Okay, so I'll.
And of course, with that, Maestro hears the mic crack back on.
Right.
So I'll nod to the guys, and we'll get up and head outside.
And she like squints cold steel glaze at the two of you.
The two of us?
Yep. Because he just ratted you guys out as his accomplices.
Yeah.
I'll give her a kiss.
Now, are you saying blow a kiss at her or getting up and giving her a kiss?
No, I'll blow a kiss at her.
Oh, okay.
So when we go outside, do I see the guy across the street who's
only if Maestro points him out to you somehow?
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, no.
Because he never really pointed that out, and you've been a little busy with her cleavage, her legs, her neck.
Yeah.
The way her neck changes when she holds her breath purposely.
So, as I get up in that and kind of walk out with them, I kind of mark and save and kind of flash the tablet so she sees as I save the audio recording that's on my tablet.
Ho 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 ho. And she just her mouth, the smile disappears and it becomes a very thin, small line of a mouth.
So just nonchalantly, casually, like, click.
And she kind of under her breath just says, "And how long have you three been in the black market business, or the blackmail business?"
I'll open the door for her to get in on the back seat.
Okay.
Not the one directly behind me, but
not the one that lets you kill the drivers, covertly.
Exactly, not the driver killing spot. But I'll open the door for her and I'll just say, either too long or not nearly long enough.
Yes. Bobby, as long as you've been doing shady recordings of your meetings, private meetings with people.
I'm a reporter. Everything I say is on the record.
Well,
as she taps her earpiece because she's practically waiting for someone to snatch it out of her ear any moment.
Yep, and available to the highest bidder as well, huh?
Ooh. Now, who's got the best perception amongst you?
I've got 2 greens and a yellow.
I am...
I'm 4 green. Oh, wait, no. I'm 2 green.
Yeah, I'm a yellow and 2 green.
Yeah, that's what I've got too.
Okay, so one of you guys, give me a perception roll as she's getting in the car with you, ready to be driven off to who knows what.
You want to do it? You want me to do it?
I've got 2 green.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Fine.
As our driver's getting in the car and starting to pull out.
Oh, I am rolling like terrible today.
And you notice the heavy set guy kind of is like hustling down the street, probably running to where he's got his vehicle parked. But you don't feel like this heavy-set middle-aged man is going to make it to his car in time to follow you guys. I mean, you can
Okay.
always do something crazy to make sure, but
Yeah. Do we want to slow down so her buddy can follow us too? I'm sure it'll make him feel better.
Nah,
Not really.
nah. Wait, you mean that guy running down the streets with her?
Yeah.
and she's
Yeah.
just like, "That's my cameraman, George. He was there to save me earlier when I was attacked by a bunch of hoodlums on the street. Or did you set that up too?"
I don't know what you're talking about. So I'll I'll take her, kind of the scenic route back to our little hideout place.
Okay, lots of
I'll call ahead-
zigzags and such.
I'll call into Esmeralda, let her know that we got her after all.
And she's just like, "Okay, I'll see you in the morning."
All right, so
Because
we'll
you
go
don't want
take
me
her
to meet
back.
her at the house. Because she can keep that pretty face, but I want a finger.
So,
Well,
and as we
Okay.
pull off, I'm going to supercharge the earbud so it discharges the
Oof.
rest of its battery charge.
As it squelches loud enough you guys can all hear it, and she kind of throws the earbud down to the floor of the car, putting her finger in her ear, kind of rubbing it, trying to get the squelch sound out. There's nothing worse than when your audio equipment betrays you.
Yep.
So go ahead and give me, it's just going to be an average driving roll. I just want to make sure you ditch the guy before he tries to catch up.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so you feel that you zigzagged well enough to keep her from tracking where she is, even though she's very perceptive and very, very, very good at looking through lies. But you have a feeling that you zipped quick enough and fast enough around corners that even if she knew where she was, she would know exactly which location she was in.
Good enough.
Okay, and conveniently, the driveway is now clear. They pulled the wreck out of the covered parking, so you can drive right into the garage
Nice.
to get off the street. Because one of the guys knows a guy who knows a guy to chop that vehicle into nothing.
Awesome.
And you kind of, open the door and let her out as she kind of disgruntledly looks around and follows you into the house.
You were a lot more trouble than you needed to be.
As, she comes in and looks at you guys and looks at this humble hacienda. And the guy on the couch saying, "Did you bring me noodles?"
I want to see if there's any recognition between the two.
That's a good question. Give me a perception roll. Or vigilance.
Maybe a perception. Oh, but a triumph.
As you don't seem to see any recognition, especially when she goes, "Who's he?" You immediately realize this guy's got recognition on his face, and immediately he is very worried. I'm assuming
Alright.
that's what you would like for the triumph.
Yeah, I want to.
She
Yeah,
plays
he's
it
very
off all
worried.
cool, like, "Who's this guy?" And this guy's like, he's about to get his throat ripped out scared. He has forgotten about his need for noodles.
All right. Well, talk first, noodle second. What's with the face?
As he's like, and he looks right over at Maestro and goes, I would like to go back in the closet, please." And she just looks right over at you as you basically brought her in and looked at her, and she's just like, "Is he recently out of the closet?" And so she has this like quip of a smile, like it's a little joke.
Yeah, kind of. Well, walk him over towards it if that's what he really wants.
And he is more than willing to submit to the closet. And as soon as Maestro, because he's being a nice guy, would have been nicer if he had noodles. As soon as you start to push him in the closet and close the door, he kind of whispers to you very faintly, "Don't trust her, she's a snake."
I just kind of wink at him like, yep. I already kind of got that figured out.
As you're hearing this muffled, "Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, I'm dead. I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead, I'm dead." And as
You're okay.
the camera slowly starts backing up as he's in the closet in the dark saying he's dead, the camera swings into the garage where you see the burnt out earpiece lying down at the bottom. And then the camera pulls out further where you see some people walking by with some really good local cuisine. And then spans way up. And you see a camera drone buzzing right over the house, looking right at it. Because yes, when she double tapped her earpiece, it was to have the camera drone track her tracker. And the tracker's not in the earpiece.
Nice.
As there's a camera drone about 300 feet in the air, just silently going. Brrr.
See, that's why I need my combat drone. Shoot that shit down.
Your combat drone's constantly in Sparrowhawk mode. Small bird flies by. Pching! Air gun. Sorry. Okay, and that's a good place to wrap it up there.
Oh man.
So you now have 2 kidnapped victims.
Right? Yeah, all of a sudden we're in the kidnapping business instead of the rescuing business. Wonderful.
Like this, that did not go the way I hoped.
Well, technically, the other guy's not kidnapped really anymore. He's kind of voluntarily cooperating and staying. Yeah.
Heck of a pickle you're in.
All right.
Yep.
We got people that know things now. So.
Yep. So you guys each get 10 experience points. And I'm assuming we're now going to jump straight to the action, right? You have all the plans and you have all the hostages.
Yeah, I think the plan would be, if they're the people with the drone don't interfere, is have her get us in there, and then have the protest start and cause a ruckus while we grab the information we need.
I mean, technically, you do know that if you want to just grab the information from the pump house's servers, you just have to be on site for that. It doesn't have to be when the pumping happens. That can be done anytime. It just has to be done in person. Because the facility is purposely not connected to the net.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
you could go anytime to that pump house to get the information.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see if she can get us in, and then again, the protest will happen to kind of cover our tracks, maybe.
I mean, you can totally have a parade of lights protest. Everybody gets glow sticks and lights.
Yeah, or a protest, and we show up there to get their side of the story, and.
Oh, that's a good idea. That could work too.
So, we're there for the company, not the protesters.
Totally come in as her producer and equipment people.
Yeah.
We need to go to the pump house to get some stock footage to prove it's not pumping anything.
Right.
That totally could be a plan. Just throwing that one out there. That just came to me.
Yep. That's kind of my thought.
Yeah, I was hoping it was going to go some way like that. Like, hey, I'm burying the story for you. I need something.
Yeah,
I need some stock footage for the story.
Yeah, it just hinged a lot on her.
Well, at this point now, she seems to be working with you guys disgruntledly and wanting to kill him horribly. You are so in trouble if she survives this.
Well, when he made the one drop about, the selling the article, I was almost going to shoot the article in question to her tablet to reinforce.
Max Headroom that shit.
Yeah. But I decided not to.
You're like, hey, he's the charmer of the group. This is like just desserts for him. He's had this coming with 3 love interests.
My,
Yeah, I know.
my powers were not with me today.
3 love interests, and finally he meets a femme fatale he can't James Bond.
No, but my rolls were spot on tonight. Holy shit.
Oh man, triumph after triumph after triumph.
Yeah, too bad I can't get that in Star Wars.
As long as the despair doesn't come up. I'm still hoping that happens.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, there's only 2 things I've got planned that have red dice involved, and that's a rarity. So I'm hoping all of y'all tomorrow for Star Wars roll nothing but light side. And then don't use a single one. That would be totally boring. I just want to say that. And I totally want to see in the initiative order when that despair comes up, how many clone troopers want to go next. Because at the next despair is when Palpatine's going to say, execute Order 66. And the Clone Wars will be over.
Yeah.
I still have a feeling our Jedis are going to walk out and the clone troopers are going to be hurting.
Well, hopefully, but we're already kind of in a busy state, so it's going to be it's going to be very intriguing.
That breach was really difficult. I mean, between the rough rolls and the maneuvers happening exactly as they did. Yep. I still think if you would have force pushed 2 of the troopers up, that probably would have been a good opening.
That was what I wanted to do.
But everybody else wanted to dive out of the hole as quick as they could.
Yeah.
It's almost like they were ready for anyone to board the hatch behind you guys, which meant your breaching pod's location was the worst possible location. And that was totally why I required you guys to roll. It could have been worse. It totally could have been worse.
Yeah. So, be interesting.
Yep. Okay, so in 2 weeks, 10 experience.
Oh,
yep.
I mean, you succeeded at kidnapping, but I don't know if that's the plan you started out with. Well, it kind of was from a certain point of view.
Modified. That was a possible plan.
I mean, I will totally admit, if you had accepted the big favor for the kidnapping, you totally would have had a professional kidnapper squad snatch her off the street and drop her at your door with a sack, with cuffs, and with radio playing and, eye muff. But then you totally would have owed them a big favor.
Yeah. The whole point of this is that I get favors.
I want to win the economy, not give it away. Alrighty, guys.
Not so soon.
I'm gonna call it a night.
Do you have a minute?
Sure.
Okay, so can you explain to me how this social attack actually works?
So what you were saying was basically a contested roll.
No. I mean, as far as blackmail goes, I need to get rid of all of their stun.
No. It basically you just needed to succeed.
No. For my talent blackmail.
Oh! I thought you meant the actual blackmail interaction that we saw happen.
No.
Let me pull it up.
Actual talent, nice. All right, well, I'm gonna bounce.
All right.
See you guys next time.
Yeah, I'll see you all next time. Thanks, James. See you tomorrow.
Have a good night.
See you later.
Chat with you guys tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, later, skaters.
I'm pulling up the book now. Let's see. Blackmail's a tier 2, right?
Yeah.
So blackmail is a tier 2. It's an active. It's an incidental that you can use out of turn. So pretty much it doesn't count as a maneuver or an action. You can just say, I'm using it now. So when an NPC exceeds his strain threshold, you may spend 1 story point to convince that NPC to perform a single task of choice instead. So if you're doing something like scathing tirade, or you're using a stun weapon that does strain damage, basically it means instead of you knocking them out, you whisper in there saying, push the button, and they'll do that instead of being knocked to 0 strain.
Okay, so
if you have any stun weapons that do strain damage, or if you have, there's a cool talent called Scathing Tirade that has you basically
I'm trying to
talk
remember
them.
if I got that or not.
Scathing Tirade is basically Princess Leia's ability to beat the boys up with words. I mean, she used it on Tarkin after all.
Okay, no, I looked at it and thought about getting it, but not yet.
Yeah, that's a good one if you're putting points into coercion, because then it makes you make an average coercion check against 2 purple. For each success, 1 enemy within short range suffers 1 strain. For each advantage, 1 enemy suffers 1 additional strain. So if you have 3 successes, you're hitting 3 people at once with it. For each advantage...
Yeah, unfortunately, coercion is like one of my worst stats.
Yeah, that's a good one if you have like a Princess Leia diplomat-y talky person or a bard. Basically, it's the vicious mockery of Genesis that you can basically talk people into being knocked out. It can also be used if you have a way of amplifying your voice, like in Star Wars, it would be an evil droid overlord, basically a taskmaster, talking shit over the intercoms at your players. Which is really nice.
I went with intellect and presence, not willpower.
So you may plan for picking up some stun weapon, so that way you can use that to drop them down in strain as well. Plus your teammates can do it too. I mean, if they drop down, you can opt to flip a story point, and instead of knocking them out, you can say, okay, I'm using blackmail to say, hey, do this or else. And basically, that's your way of coercing them into doing it without requiring any roll. It's just saying, instead of them being knocked out, they'll just do the thing.
Now, I've got a question. If I have a captive, can I use medicine to induce strain?
Technically, no. But there are drugs and things you can use. There's also, let me see where it is. There's a cool thing, I think it's Pressure Point, that lets you do some damage with medicine, I think. It's not it. I may be in the wrong book. But yeah, most of the medicine stuff is, there's drugs you can totally shoot people up to knock them out and just flat out take them out because they have to do resilience checks and they suffer strain for every unfailed block. Where is Pressure Points?
Is there the equivalent of a dart gun where I can shoot it?
Yeah, there's the dart launcher. Basically, it lets you shoot. If you hit, it administers the drug, and they have to make a save versus it. Which, by the way, is totally useful for administering drugs, both good or bad.
Okay, so what did you call a talent again?
Pressure
points?
I'm checking to see which book it's in, but it's Pressure Points.
Okay, that's a tier 3, and it's in Realms.
Okay, that's why I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I've got the full expanded list up.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't have mine up. But yeah, I think Pressure Points does something about inflicting strain, doesn't it?
When your character makes an unarmed brawl check targeting a living opponent, they may use this talent to deal strain damage instead of wound damage and inflict additional strain damage for their rank in medicine.
Yeah, that's the one that I've seen evil doctors use.
Okay, so unarmed wouldn't even count as like brass knuckles.
Yeah, that would totally be just brawl. It would have to be not using a weapon for the check.
Okay, but on the other hand, I got the skill that turns brawl into an agility check.
Which is, because you're doing the Vulcan neck pinch instead of some big awkward Kirk style double fist smash.
Right, because I'm a loony and I don't do strength.
Yeah, you totally use the applied pressure as opposed to the brute force.
Yeah, that's definitely something to get.
Yeah, that definitely would be one that you might want to think about because that lets you totally do the Vulcan neck pinch, Xena Atemi points, special nerve strikes that do extra something but not kill.
Right.
But still, let's be honest, in an RPG point of view, if you've taken the target out, it's just as good as killing them. Because you've taken them out of contention.
Well, the strain thing allows me to hit the blackmail.
Yep. Because instead of dropping them, you can then say, open the door. And instead of dropping them to 0, they can take the option to open the door or not.
Right.
Which pretty much doesn't give them the option, they just do it.
This isn't like, do any of the modifications or equipment or anything else make a person use strain?
Let me look into it. I'm not exactly sure, but I can check into it.
Okay.
I think there might be one or two.
As a World War vet who'd gone through this, that'd be something I'd know. Yeah,
you would. It's one of those things, yeah, you've seen this before. Of course, but, also seeing that guy's reaction to her, too.
Character concepts, the character stats and things are a little bit different than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got a little bit clearer idea on what I want to do with her.
Nice. And I did add some extra books I didn't share before to you guys that I just recently got from DriveThruRPG, like the Guide to Cyber Things and more modifications.
Where did
in the group Skype chat? I shared some more stuff. It's the More Than Human
Con Genesis Emporium.
I'm sorry, I'm talking about the Adventures of Airship Gallivant chat. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, Gears and Gadgets is the book you may want to look at because they've got some new cool stuff in there. And different stuff for meds too. There's the Nano Stitch, the Zap, the Hypo Gun, Combat Pheromones.
More Than Human. Okay, Gears and Gadgets.
And there's the Lazarus Patch. Patch that can bring you back from death as long as it's immediately administered. It's not a big PDF, but it's got some cool stuff in it.
Yeah, I got it. I'm saving it now. Oh. Okay, hold on.
And if you're looking for the prices for everything, it's on like the last page. Because everybody wants a robot dog. They've got the Canine Guardian. It's actually a pretty badass dog. I would not want to run into 5 of them together.
Okay, PDF. Yeah, I wish I had the money. It'd be really neat for Holmes to have a hound.
Well, have you looked in the World of Androids book?
I haven't gone through all of it yet.
There's actually in New Angeles, the city, there's actually a police dog called the K8. It's a blue-furred dog that's actually genetically engineered for the police. Not only does it have thumbs, because it's nice to have your dog be able to open doors, but it actually has toxic fangs that stun. So the damn clone dog can bite you because it's basically a cloned, buffed up Akita that the corporation is basically giving to the cops as a prototype to basically advertise. I know Kelly's already been joking. She's like, our squad needs to have one of those for Friday.
Our squad so needs to have one of those.
I'm like, you never know what may happen. You know, all of a sudden a pet carrier shows up for delivery and you guys are like, okay, we don't have a canine expert here. I guess we're just going to let the dog go in our empty precinct here. That's another thing. I got to throw out the... there's another PDF in the chat that's called the tour, I think. Let me see. It is... maybe I didn't share it. I'll have to see if it's on my other computer. But it's basically a player's guide to the city's locations. You know, so that way players have a good overview. That way you guys can get to, you know, because I want you to pick where exactly you're going to be all over town. But where exactly is the precinct that you guys are a part of? You know? And of course, for that group, once we start, I've already got the first session is going to be you guys starting in the middle of a firefight between two gangs. Why? Because that's how you start out a cops game.
Yeah, either that or a car chase.
Yeah, one or the other. So I figure we'll start media res and a firefight and let everybody figure out what their characters are good at. Alrighty, man. I'm going to have to call it a night because it has been a long, long day.
Oh, no problem. Thanks a lot for staying late.
All right, no problem, man. All right, later.
Bye-bye.